if you are a creative entrepreneur like myself, where you create content online and you are looking for ways to better monetize yourself, maybe adding multiple streams of revenue to your business model, then I am going to invite you to stick around for today's marathon, baby, because we have talked about just that. Okay. My name is Kay, and every morning, Monday through Friday, I go live from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, talking with other creative entrepreneurs on how they can strengthen their online business skills to accomplish more of their revenue goals online. This week's conversation was all about multiple streams of revenue. And today I want to share our 3 popular episodes with you from this week that talk about how you can add digital products, how to find opportunities for sponsorship, how to make sure you are positioned well as an influencer to maximize your income. And today is your lucky day because they're all going to be in one video. So if you are looking for ways to add more streams of revenue to your business model that are practical, that can invite some very serious, I'm talking high figure revenue opportunities into your life, then I invite you to stick around, child. You know what? Stream me to your TV. I know you sitting in front of the TV watching me on YouTube. Just, airplay me to the TV, pull up with your pen and paper, get comfortable, child. Go get you something to eat, grab your blanket, grab your snacks, and let's have a really good conversation and learn how to get more of these coins from our efforts online. Let's hop into today's video. Hey guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody's morning going so far? So it looks like all the tech checks are complete. I am showing up and present for everybody everywhere. Hey, TikTok, how y'all be, friends? Hey, hey, what's going on, Instagram? How y'all doing? YouTube, Facebook, hey, y'all. All right, so this morning, we are going to be talking about how you can add digital products to your creative business to add another stream of revenue for your company. Now, I know that you have likely heard a little bit about digital products. So today I want to kind of define what a digital product is and kind of share with you the impact that it can truly have for your creative business so that as you begin to start thinking about what you can create, you understand what you're getting yourself into and the impact that it can truly have on the bottom line of your business. For the past couple of days, we've been talking about making sure that as a creative, you are really setting yourself up, especially now, for success so that you're not just dependent on what you're doing on social media in order to drive results for your business. And today's conversation is no different than that. We're truly going to dig into what digital products are. I'm going to give you some examples of what that looks like. I'm going to share how you can automate some of that because remember, I'm a business automation strategist. So everything that I do, I always try to make it as simple as possible for you to implement into your process so that you can see similar results in your business. So I've got notes here, but I'm clicking back and forth between Instagram and my notes just to make sure everything looks good. And I think we are all set and ready to go. So let's do a little housekeeping before we get started. So, for those of you that don't know diddly squat about me, like who is this woman showing up on the internet trying to tell me how to make some money? My name is Kay, and I have been in the online space since 2013. You can find me over on the interwebs at kwhitaker.com. That is where my uh, business automation company lives. There you can go and learn all about our services and our products and how we help. But the nutshell of it all is I've been a content creator since 2013. So I have been around for quite a little while and I have built my business using the internet so that I can be home and be present with my kids. I've got four ranging in age from 20, should be 21 in April, y'all. Oh my gosh. Down to 6, y'all. So I have made sure that I have had a business that could sustain me by using the internet to find the audience for whatever services, products, whatever I was doing at the time since 2013. Been here for a very, 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 very long time. The reason why we are having these conversations now it's because prior times I used to come and coach like this all the time, but life got busy, motherhood got busy, I got consumed. But now I see there's a great need for creators, especially for creators that may have been around for a little while, or you found some recent success in the things that you're doing on the internet, like creating content and stuff like that. And you're trying to figure out how to make sure your business actually sustains. Despite the ebbs and flows of what we see going on right now. So my goal here is when we're having these conversations is to share some practical advice during our live time together that you can chew on and think about how you can implement into your own strategies. There's more than one way to skin a cat, but I'd like to come here and share based off my personal experience and some things that we have been able to implement with the clients that we have helped over the last 12 years so that you can replicate them or start to think about how you can implement something like that into your business. And if it's intriguing to you, then you're able to go and either hire us to help you do it, or we have a vault called the K Club where we house these replays. But in addition to that, it's brand new, it just released. We are putting templates and demonstration videos and how to's talking about how we can do what we're doing here live. So today is a very popular conversation. It is one that I have seen all across the internet. And as a digital content or a digital product creator, I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, let's get on here and talk about it and help people understand how they can create digital products for their business. So that is what we're talking about today. So, in 13 years, 12, 13 years that I've been on the internet, I have created products that have failed and that have been successful. Okay. When we start to talk about digital products from a marketing perspective, these are things that can be sold on the internet that don't require some type of shipping in order for the end user to receive. So we're talking courses, we're talking communities, we're talking checklists, we're talking about easy stuff that folks are able to get their hands on, like your audience is able to get their hands on, and you can make an income from it, depending on how aggressive you are, can be a major part of your revenue stream for your company. So when you're thinking about digital products, it's not just courses and stuff like that, although that is a big part of it. And I'm a huge advocate for teaching what you know. I want you to think about what your expertise is and how you can incorporate something in exchange for monetary value that someone can consume from you without you having to physically do it. This is the true meaning of what we call passive income, where it's created, it's available, and all you have to do is go out and, like my clients will, you'll hear me say with my clients all the time, go run your mouth, talk your noise, and drive traffic to your offer. Okay. So one of the first types of digital products that I always like to encourage. Okay. And I know everybody is like, I don't want to be a coach. I hear you. Okay. I got you. But let's talk about courses for just a second. Okay. Let's talk about courses for just a second. Imagine you are an interior designer, okay? And you run a design firm, and one of the things that you are really, 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 really good at is pulling color palettes together. Just imagine, okay? Just imagine for a second. Now, you're good at pulling color palettes together every time you post a project, every time you do anything, any type of work, your clients are always like, oh my God, this flows so well together. And you know it is because of the palette that you have chosen and your strategic method in going through and choosing this palette, right? Go with me for a second. And designers, I'm gonna pick on you for a little bit today because I understand, but I'm gonna stay with you for just a second today because I want to help you understand how you can go beyond, especially right now where we're in a climate where some folks are paying us to do design projects for them, and some folks just don't have it within their means to pay us. Okay. So, one of the benefits of being a designer is that we're creative and we get to use our creative skills to come to the internet to showcase our creativity. So, when we post these projects, they bad. Like everybody falls in love with them. They really go viral when they're done well, but everybody's not going to hire you to do the project for whatever reason that may be. It might be location, it might be means, it might be affordability. It could be a number of reasons why someone won't hire you. But you know, one of your specialties is picking color palettes and pulling all that crap together, right? You can do it in your sleep. Do it in your sleep. And we know that the foundation of pulling this stuff together is making sure that we know that pulling rooms together is making sure that they are cohesive, materials and stuff like that go together. So we know all of this about our projects. Our audience loves us online. We've got way more followers online than people that are actually calling us to do one-on-one projects with them. It just doesn't exist, right? But if we're really trying to figure out how we can make some additional revenue without having to worry about that next project, or like we talked about yesterday, we kind of at capacity. We don't have the capacity to take on another project right now because we're knee deep in like the max of the customers that we can work with. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to sit for a weekend with somebody and map out your specialty and choosing paint colors, how you choose them, your thought process, boom, 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 and turn it into a project that somebody that might be working on their own project. Maybe it's a DIY creator that really loves design. They like to do it themselves. Or maybe it's somebody that's inspired by your work, but will never hire you, can pay for a simple course that they can go and watch on their own. You don't have to be there, pay you a nominal fee for the course for you to sell your expertise and teach them what you know. Now they are fully equipped on their own in their own right to go off and choose a paint color palette. And when they choose it, somewhere in your course, you say, hey, when you pull your paint color palette together, tag me on the internet and let me know how it goes. Boom, done. And you move on with your life. You keep working on the big projects that you've been working on with the folks that are actually willing to pay you. And now you've got an additional stream of revenue coming into your business based off of your popularity online. This is really good for those of us that have popularity online, right? It's one thing to be popular and have a whole bunch of people to engage with us because we love making content, but it's another thing to be profitable. Why not maximize on what that popularity is bringing to you and create something that is accessible to people based off of your expertise? Now you might say, well, that's not going to teach them how to design a room. It won't, but it'll give them one thing that they can do and feel accomplished while adding some, passive income to your business that will allow you to go and buy more coffee or allow you to hire somebody to actually manage your social media. Now your social media is paying for itself because you've got something in place that somebody can go and get access to that allows you to pay somebody to manage it so that it'll free up your time to do more of the stuff in your business that you want to do. You see where I'm going? Like there's a method to the madness and it took you literally a weekend to pull this together, to get it on a platform, to make it accessible for folks to do it on their own. I'm not telling you that you got to go out and be a full blown coach, or you got to go speak on stage and host podcasts and do all of that. Of course, you can do it if you want to. But what I am saying is that if there's an opportunity for you to package something that you are a complete expert in, that is very simple for you to be able to offer, then why not do it and sell it as a digital product where people can go and get access to it on their own? And the next time somebody asks you how you pulled those colors together in the comments, you send them the link to your course. Done. Y'all feel me? You follow me? Hearts on the screen if that makes sense. Okay. So, yes, courses are a great way to be able to package your expertise. You don't have to commit to being an all out coach. That does not have to be the biggest part of your business, but it can be something that can generate some revenue for you based off of questions that you get from the internet. Okay. So when you're building out your course, there's a couple of things that you need. One, of course, you need your expertise. You need to be able to teach something, and it needs to be something that is very simple for you to do if you're going to do it in this way, right? Something you can do with your eyes closed. We're going to run a challenge here in April when we get back from vacation called Teaching a Week. In 5 days, I'm going to teach you how to how to package your expertise, how to price for it, how to deliver it um, on an online platform, and how to go make your sales. Okay. Teaching a Week, that's coming in April. But you need to know what you're teaching, right? After you have your outline for what you're teaching, of course, you got to create the content. But beyond the content, you need a platform that can deliver the content for you and automatically give access to the person that's purchased the content. So, one of the things that I love about the CRM that we're using right now is that we can actually offer the courses inside of our CRM, which is helpful, especially if you are back in prior videos where I talked about automatic payments and managing your services and making sure you've got systems in place to automate and all that good stuff. We talked about a CRM. Well, you need a tool to deliver the content. It just, you can't send the videos just all out. You need something to deliver the content. So if you put a CRM in place or a content delivery management system, something like that, that will allow people to access your course, now you put that up, it's in your business structure, and you're ready to go. It's going to require a landing page, it's going to require somewhere to check out, and it's going to require a login for people to be in to get access to it. You've got places that are very popular like Thinkific. I love Thinkific as an option for somebody that is just teaching, but beyond Thinkific, our CRM that we're using right now, High Level, we can actually offer courses through that. That's actually what our digital products are hosted on, that allows our customers. We use it for our service-based business, we use it for our influencer business, and we use it for our digital products. One ecosystem, One username and password, multifunctional. It allows us to do social posting. We can do email marketing. We can do our automation. We can do our billing, our contracting, everything in one. And we can also offer our courses. Build a landing page, do the checkout, all the things right inside of this system. Okay. Once you have that put in place, there are templates out there, y'all. You don't have to think off the top of your head. We have AI that if you say, hey, I am teaching this course on these things and I need a landing page to go with it, it will help you come up with the content for it, for the page, so that you can sell your services. You can put this stuff together literally in a weekend. And by Monday, when you post that inspirational post on Monday with that banking project that you've been working on, and somebody asks you, girl, how'd you pull all of that together? You can say, you know what? It's in the details, boo. It's in the color palette. And guess what? If you want to know how to do it and you can't hire me to help you for your next project and you got one that you're working on, I got a full course over there to teach you what to do. Go get it here. And boom, they go, they check out, and they are in your CRM. You are now building your email list, which we will talk about in great detail in upcoming videos, the importance of having an email list. You made a little coin. You did your daily social stuff that you doing anyway. You got the engagement and the revenue, and now you can move on about your life and go continue to design projects. But we got another stream of revenue in place that has allowed us to make some more money. Okay. I All right. So that's number one. That's number one. That is your course creation. Okay. Number two, the second thing that you can do is you can create. Oh my God, where is it in my notes? Are we only talking about courses today? No, I don't only want to talk about courses today. Oh, second thing that you can create. I'm sorry, y'all. Watching in my notes. The second thing that you can create, if you don't want to create like a video course or something like that, then you can create like a simple ebooks are not dead, but they got to be presented in the right way. Okay. Here's the problem. We can do like a PDF or some sort to make available as an instructional guide to give somebody the roadmap to what to do, and you can sell it. They don't have to be free. Okay. Depending on the book, depending on what it is, you can charge a pretty penny for it, but it just depends on what you're structuring. Okay. So, likewise, where you have a course where I'm encouraging you to do like a little short video course, but your course can be anything. It could be audio only, it can be PowerPoint presentation. If we're staying in the lane of me picking on the interior designers, that's definitely something that has to be visual. But let's say that's not what you want to do. Let's say you want to go through the process of how to space plan, how to lay out your furniture in your room to make sure that all the pieces is going to fit. Could it be visual, excuse me, where you have to talk through it or show examples? It could be, or it could be something like a guide that you give somebody that's illustrated, that has measurements, that's a little bit more architectural. It might take a little bit more, but you can hire this out, but you can create this like PDF, this digital book that if I'm struggling with how to make sure all of my furniture works well together, and there's a guide that shows me how, almost like a furniture manual, that shows me how to plan out my space so that all of my spaces in the room are going to fit nicely. And it gives me instructions on how to measure and gives me pictures on how to measure and gives example floor plans and stuff like that that you can put together in a nice little package in a PDF that someone can download and sell it. Why not? Why not? It's the same concept almost as a course, but the difference is the way that it's delivered. Whereas if we're talking paint colors and that's highly visual and you feel like, you need to show how you pull the stuff together, but you're looking at something that could be a little bit more technical and require um a little bit more precision, then maybe a ebook is a good way to get that done. Maybe you can hire somebody on Fiverr to do some sample floor plans for you that would put examples of pieces of furniture. You know how, here's a great example of what that might look like, right? When home builders are building homes and you go to their website, you go and you're purchasing a new construction house, right? And you're building this house and you're going to the website and you're looking at the floor plan, right? So you go to look at the floor plan on the internet and you're like, I wonder what the dimensions of this space are. And I wonder what furniture might look like in this space. And you go and you click on dimensions. When you click on dimensions, it's not videos, it's a floor plan of the home. And in that floor plan of the home, if I'm a really good home builder, I've also included an ability for people to toggle on furniture placement. And in that furniture placement, it gives examples of how the room can be set up, the sizing of the furniture, where it would be in the space that gives a picture to the person that's interested in purchasing this home, what their home could possibly look like if there's furniture in the space, so on and so forth. Same thing for you as the designer. If you have the ability to do this, again, this is something that comes easy to us. If you have the ability to floor plan like nobody's business, right? You can throw these things together without much effort, without much thought. Maybe you can sketch it if you have that skill, or maybe you have a great CAD designer that can throw it together for you and put out these renderings that you would ordinarily pass on to like the builder or the contractor that's going to be working in the space, but you can make it basic enough where a simple homeowner can grab it from you based off of a simple rectangular or square room, and you kind of outline what ideas are because you're not that good on camera. You don't want to show up on a camera. I get it. Everybody don't want to be on camera, but you can explain it. You have writing skills and you have the ability to have something illustrated for you, then maybe you put it in an ebook. And just like the course, you're going to need a landing page, you're going to need somewhere for somebody to check out, and you're going to need a way to deliver it automatically. And if you can put those pieces together and in place, now you've got a digital product that says how to space plan for your room. Got a rectangular room, or maybe you're good at working with odd spaced rooms. The idea here is saying, okay, I've got a community of people online that actually like me. They engage with me. They're with me all the time. They're asking me all these questions. And I have this particular knack and gift and way that I can do things. Let me figure out a way to package this where I don't have to verbally say it all the time, or for somebody that's never going to hire me for their services because they're simply here from inspiration. And guys, if you're a designer, like, I'm flattered that you're here for inspiration. I love that. But I also want to make money, right? All of us that are on the internet, when we're showing up and we're putting our efforts in on a day in and day out basis, we ain't doing it just for the sake of it. Some of us are. Some of us are. Some of us do cause marketing. But most of us are here because we've got financial goals and we've got a reason for showcasing whatever our skills are. And we want to hit those goals. And when we're in times that are kind of uncertain and things are going back and forth, and we really don't know what the economy is going to look like, we really don't know what people can afford, there are ways through digital products to put some more cost effective solutions in place for people that would not be your one on one customer. And if that's not for you, that's fine. But if you are interested in figuring out a way how to get all these hundreds of people that are interacting with you on a daily basis to pay you, and it ain't through your services, maybe it's a digital product. I know in the design industry, a lot of times we don't want to go into retail because then we got to worry about inventory and stuff like that. That's just more work. You need a whole team for that. But if you can take a concept like this, illustrate it, because we're artists, and put it into something like an ebook. Now, if you don't want to do video, that's fine. Put an ebook and make that ebook look like a real book. Throw up a landing page for it, do high level, get people to pay you, and deliver it to them automatically. Done. Done. Again, it took you a weekend to do if you work on the weekends, or it took you a week to do when you got finished doing your client work. Whatever the case may be, you did what you were good at, you outsourced what you weren't good at. And now you've got this product that's available at a decent price, something that's affordable to someone that wouldn't hire you for your services, that's available to them for them to do on their own. The next time somebody drop down in your comments and ask you how you pulled it off, girl, I space plan. Here's the link to the ebook if you got a project that you want to learn how to do it on your own. Boom. Now they can go do it. You can make a little coin. You can be excited about coming to the internet. It's no longer a chore. It's no longer a job. It's no longer something that, oh my God, I got to create content. It's draining. Boop, boop, boop. Nope. It's fun because guess what? Each and every day you can post and there's a new opportunity for you. If you are not able to get someone to book you for your consultations or your initial calls or whatever those may be, they can buy your book or they can buy your course and boom, and done. There it is. Okay. So now you're like, okay, Kay, that sounds good. We got video course. Yeah. I don't know if I want to be on camera like that. Cool. What about an ebook? I'm not that good of a writer. Writing is not your excuse anymore. We have AI. And with the right prompts, baby, with the right prompts and know-how, you can get it done. Okay. So writing is not your excuse anymore. We got tools to help us write. Okay. But let's just say that ain't what you want to do. I don't really like that. I don't want to put in the time to get somebody to draw out stuff like I want something right now. I want something that I can take advantage of right now. I kind of like talking to my audience. I go live every once in a while, but that's free. So I'm here for an hour every day and I'm not really getting paid for that. Um, but I do like being with my audience. I like teaching. I don't know if I would necessarily want to do like a single course because I have so much to share and there's always something that I want to share with my audience. And I just love, love, love engaging with people that love design and love the work that I do. And I want to talk to them all the time. Oh my goodness, I could talk about this until, the cows come home. Great. If that is you, if that describes you, then maybe a community is your way to go. Okay. And when I say community, I'm not talking about a Facebook group. When I say community, I'm not talking about a group chat. All right. I'm talking about a monetizable community that allows you to bring like minded individuals into one space that you charge for and you offer something in exchange for their commitment of time and revenue. Okay. Some great examples of communities that you may see floating around. I don't know how many of you all watch YouTube videos. One's in the comments or hearts in the screens. Like if you are anything like me and you like gossip vlogs, like you will sit on YouTube or TikTok and you will watch like all the people talk about all the reality TV shows. I might be telling on myself, ain't nobody participate, but you will watch all the YouTubers break down the tea on all the celebrities and all the real housewives, all that good stuff. I'm by myself. Nobody else enjoys that. Maybe that's just my fetish. Okay. Anyways, so there's a whole community on the internet, on the interwebs. Maybe you got to be a YouTuber to understand this and really watch YouTube, but there's a whole gossip community on the internet. And I have a whole YouTube channel that is not specific to the YouTube channels that I run for my design firm or for my garden designing or for this business channel that is dedicated to watching gossip content. Okay. And what I know about these gossip vloggers is that all of them have created communities outside of their normal live audience or their normal viewing audience, where that community gets a little bit extra in exchange for some money. Okay. They might get an extra video. They might get an extra opportunity to ask questions. They might get an opportunity to come on to a live video if the creator is streaming live. There's something extra, like some spice added to being a part of the community that brings you closer to me as the creator and allows me to continue to do what I love to do, but then also gives you a little bit of extra in exchange. Okay. Prime example of what that looks like in like my world, right? So we started going live last week to come back to get used to you guys, for you guys to get used to us being on camera. Now we're here every day and we are committed to going live 9 o'clock Central Standard Time every single day, Monday through Friday, not on the weekends, right? This is our opportunity for us to come and educate a little bit,
to talk with you all about some of our expertise. But for some of you all, you're like, okay, this live conversation is cute, but I need a little bit more, right? I want a little bit more. I want to be able to get with Kay and ask questions, or I want Homegirl to break this down a little bit more for me, what she's talking about, and give me some real life examples on how this is going to work. Well, that's where community comes in. That's where the vault comes in. That's where the K Club comes in, because it's there that I can repurpose the content that I've already created, but expand on it with the audience that's truly interested in like rolling up their sleeves and digging in, right? And a lot of times communities serve us because we're already going to do it. We're already going to do it. This is something that we're already going to do. But in order for us to do it and maintain it, there needs to be some type of compensation in place to help us maintain it, right? Communities usually don't cost a lot of money. There's something that's very low entry, but communities are great for folks that like to be close to people beyond just the interaction that they're having with the rest of the common good, right? This is for people that like to get in a little bit more, roll up their sleeves. And if that's you, maybe it's design chats. Maybe it is, excuse me, maybe it is you are in love with wallpapers, or you like to keep up with like design trends, and you don't mind answering a whole bunch of questions and stuff like that. And if that's the case, then build a community. Garden communities I see are really, really popular because in our garden world, we do so much. But then if you've got a core group of people that want to know how you get that done, specifically like to your area, so like zone wise, because everybody's growing systems are different, right? Depending on where you are, you have different growing zones. The climate is different, the dirt is different, the humidity, the heat, all those good things. And so, like a garden person might say, hey, I create garden videos on YouTube for everybody. But if you're in zone AB, Texas, like me, and you want to know specifically how I'm doing these things in an effort not to alienate all of the people on the internet that love me, I'm going to create a smaller space for us to go to where we can talk just the things that are only specific to us, and I can spend a little bit more time with you going through this. And you can pay a small fee to do that, but you're special. I'm there consistently, and you're getting what you need to have, right? That's a community. It's the same process. All of this is the same. Nothing as far as how you deliver it changes as far as what you're going to need. You need content, which is going to be however you decide to put it together. If it's a video course, an ebook, or it's ongoing every month where you are doing something, you need a way for people to go learn about it, which is your landing page. You need a way for them to check out, and then you need a way to deliver it. And if you have one system, something like High Level in place, then you can do it. You can run all of your business, every aspect of your business, the service part of your business that we talked about yesterday, the digital products part of your business can all be run in one place. And when you log in, you can see dashboards and reportings to see what, especially if you do this long term, you see what's serving my company and what's the historical data behind when one part of my business does well over another one, so that I can effectively plan a marketing calendar that helps me promote whatever needs to be promoted in the specific amount of time that it needs to be promoted in. Because based on data, I know that my community sales are usually up in the spring because this is something that's seasonal or whatever. And if I'm doing a garden, most people want this information early in the season, and they're willing to pay a little bit more for it to get it quicker and get more in-depth information. So I know that that goes up. So if I know that springtime is coming, then I know I need to be talking about that in January and February in order to generate sales. You see where I'm going? All of this ties together. Okay. The key to this, however, if you're going to create a digital product, is to make sure it's something that's high in demand. It's something that people actually want to learn. So, specifically for those of us that have online audiences, you want to make sure that your audience is interested in it, right? You want to make sure that your audience is asking for it. If you don't have an audience yet and you want to know if it's something that is high in demand. Go and look at somebody else that has an audience that replicates what your audience will be and see what they're asking for. Drop down in the comments, use the comments for research and see what things are coming up on a regular basis and create something centered around that so that when you do come to marketing, you start to establish yourself, you have something that people actually want, right? There's a fine line between creating something that we want to deliver just because it's something that we're passionate about and we love, and creating something that people are actually willing to pay for. Okay. That's where the success comes in. Like years ago, when I started this, as far as automation is concerned, and the reason why we're having these types of conversations is because I know automation is overwhelming and intimidating for creatives. Overwhelming and intimidating for creatives. But when I first started years ago, because I was so gung ho about automation, all I was creating stuff around was automation, 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 technology, technology, technology. And folks was like, child, please. I ain't interested because it's so intimidating. It's so overwhelming for somebody that just wants to create. My audience has always been full of creatives that we just want to do the work that we love to do. When you start pulling in all this technology talk and all this other kind of stuff, child, you lost me. So at the very beginning of my digital product journey, I was losing folks because I was working through what I was passionate about without helping people see and understand the value in what I was passionate about. So for you, I want to help you avoid that mistake and not do that in your own business and truly understand what people want so that when you create a digital product, it's going to be something that people are actually willing to pay for. Okay. So do your research before you ever start creating. If you have an audience that you can pool, that you can survey, that you can look at what they've been asking you, that you can actually use your own data, great. Some of us have that, some of us don't. If you don't, then I want you to go and look at creators that create content in a space that you're going to occupy and see what their audience is talking to them about. See what questions come up. See what conversations are popular. See what types of uh, problems people are having and how you can solve the problem based on your expertise so that you know how to position this product when it's ready to sell so that people will actually buy it. And it won't just be a labor of something that you created because you were passionate about it, but people didn't truly understand the true value of what you had to offer. So you got to do your research first. Okay. So, yes, I'm talking that like it's simple, right? Talking to you about what a product is, but we want to make sure that the demand is there. And in order to make sure the demand is there, we got to know that there's conversation around it. Go look at Amazon books. How many books have been written about this? What's the feedback and the reviews? Go look at other people that have created digital products. What have they created? Like, do a little bit of research um, and figuring out what you can create before you just create. Okay. Once you do that, then you got to make sure you're priced properly in order for this to be successful. Okay. And pricing strategies vary depending on what your goals are. If you are a coach and you want this digital product to be your primary source of revenue, then you're going to price that a little bit differently, but you're going to have to also make sure that the value aligns with the price or that the perceived value of whatever you're selling aligns with what you're charging for. Okay. Um, if this is something that is quick and easy, they can get results today, then maybe it doesn't have to be um, as expensive. Maybe you have a high ticket offer and you're looking for a way to supplement that high ticket offer based on capacity and people's affordability. So you're looking for something to create that's not as high ticket that you can produce in conjunction with what you already have going on. Maybe it's a primer course that gets people ready for the next level of your service. There's so many thought processes in how you price, but you want to make sure that as you are pricing, it is priced and that the value of whatever you're putting on the course is going to be recognized and the perceived value of the product is going to be accepted by the audience. Great way to know is if there are other courses out there that are teaching what you're getting ready to teach, you need to go and look at the format. You want to go and look at how long the coach or the instructor is saying that the course is going to take them to complete. You need to look at what's included as far as what are they getting in exchange for paying for this? Is it just videos? Are there products involved? Like what's happening here and how much is being charged? There's an industry standard. You just got to go find it. I can guarantee you that whatever you're thinking about creating as a product, if you've gotten here and you're like, oh, I could absolutely do this, whatever you're thinking about creating from a product standpoint, it's not you're not the first one to do it. There's other products out there. You just need to go find them and do a little bit of research on what people are offering. And if you find something common, then that is especially if it's popular, if you find common pricing and there's not a lot of swing in pricing, that means that that is what the audience is willing to pay for it. And you got to make sure that whatever you create falls in line with what they're willing to pay for and get in return. Okay. Pricing isn't as difficult as we think it is. Yes, we got our personal goals for what we want to make off of the digital product that we're creating, but we also need to know what people are willing to pay for as it relates to what we're creating, and how we actually put ourselves in position to have a product that is going to sell because the perceived value is there. Okay. And then once that's done, once you have got it created, once you have got it priced properly, once you've created the copy for the landing page that is going to be designed in order for people to go um, and purchase it, and you've got your CRM in place, because that's what we're going to use. We're going to use a CRM. Once you've got your CRM in place and all things are automated, once they purchase, there's a few things that you want to have in place to make sure that their onboarding is smooth. Okay. So once I purchase, I need to get immediate access to the course. Okay. Like don't have me purchase and then be like, I can't figure out how to log in. Nope, that's not good business. That is not a good client experience. When someone purchases a digital product for you, it needs to immediately go to them. Whether if it's a course, they need their username and password. If it is an ebook or something like that, and you're not delivering it through your CRM, send it to them right away so that they can download it. If it is a community, give them access to the community, and make sure that they understand how to use the community. So let's talk courses first. Okay. Let's talk onboarding for your course first. When you are selling a course, especially if it's like a video course or something like that, and we'll dive deeper into this in later conversations, but especially if it is like a video course, one, you need to welcome them and tell them what they're going to learn. Don't just hop into content. Here's how you do this. Like you're an instructor. So say, hey, welcome to my Paint 101 course. In this course, here's what you're going to learn. Here's what is included. And here's how long it should take you to complete it. Okay. If it's a video inside of the course, in that email that you send to them, you want to include the video too. Okay, here's your username and password. Start here and have a little thumbnail to the video, have them click on it. And if your CRM is set up correctly, that link, when they click on it, it will prompt them to log them in, but it will take them exactly to the place where you want them to go, where they can start and they can get instructions on what to do. Okay. And don't just leave it to that. Don't just leave it to that initial email. Understand that when you're selling a digital product, it's your job as the coach, as the creator, to guide people to success. Okay. So you don't have to personally do it on your own, but you want to have some automation in place in order to make sure people are able to consume what you've created for them and get the results that they're looking for as a result. Okay. So when they sign up, of course, give them access, tell them how to navigate through the platform, but maybe also include a few more emails that encourage them to continue going, right? There might be an email tomorrow that says, hey, this is included in the course. Don't forget this. There might be an email after that. I know I like to send out an email and have in my course content how to maximize your learning when you're trying to learn as an adult. Like I am a 40-plus-year-old woman, and I know that a lot of my audience is right there with me. Okay. It's been a long time since we've had to learn anything, and especially learning it on the internet. Okay. So some would think that you could sit in place in one sitting and get everything that you need to know from some information. And that's just not how our brains work. So for me, as a content creator and as an instructor, I know that my audience needs to understand how to maximize their learning. There's active learning, there's passive learning. Okay. Actively, I'm sitting down in front of the computer. I am taking notes. I am doing all the things. Passive learning is on in the background. I hear some of it, but I'm not really paying attention. And both methods are okay. So when I create products for my consumers, I like to make sure that there is a lesson in there that talks about maximizing their learning where they are. I explain the difference in the types of learning. I explain how to take the content that I've created and how to listen to it over and over, how to use the resources that I'm providing in order to help get the results. And yes, we've got the product. And yes, that may sound like a little bit of work, but I'm telling you, if you can do that inside of your digital product, then you can actually help people get to where they need to be. Hey, Britt. Right? And you'll see that people will engage with the content, will actually finish it, and it's because you guided them along in the process. It was more than just creating something that they can purchase. You actually considered them while you were creating it and created an experience for them that allowed them to get to the finish line and do what they expected to do as a result of paying you whatever the cost may be, whether it is $5, $10, $15, whatever the cost may be. They are actually excited about consuming what you've created because you guided them through the process. Okay. So if you're going to create a course, ebook, even your community, make sure that you include how to get the most out of it, pre-record it, email it out, and have some touch points in place over a certain amount of time, especially for those of us that create communities. Have some automated touch points in place over a certain amount of time to encourage people to engage. Okay. One of the misconceptions when you are creating your community is that you think that just because somebody signed up to be a part of it, that they're going to actively be a part of the conversation. And that's just not it. Okay. That's naive to think that just because they pay for it, that they're going to jump in to feed. A lot of times, that's not how it happens. A lot of times, people will pay up to be a part of the community. They'll lurk for a little bit, watch for a little bit, see what's going on. When they're invited and they're comfortable, then they will become a part of the conversation. Your job as the community leader is to make them comfortable. Okay. And a lot of times that's you pushing the engagement in the beginning. That's why I said if you're going to create a community, be ready to be a good community leader so that you can push the engagement that you're looking for and build the audience. Example, right now, I've got the K Club, very few people in there, right? I understand that. And over the next month, that's why I've got it at such an affordable price because I want people to hop in with no thought and give me time over the next month to build the engagement, to build the excitement that I want people to come in with, right? It's work, it takes time, it takes effort, but it is also a great additional stream of revenue for folks that are like me that or like you that offer services that have content that they create and then want to create deeper with their audiences. Okay. So knowing that and making sure that there are automated touch points in place once somebody signs up and takes advantage of your digital product is going to be key. Now, listen, we're not 51, so it's not like I can go into we can have further conversations about this, and I'm happy to come back and talk more about this as we go through it, maybe even give you some live demonstrations. I might do that. Um, but one of the things that's key to my community in the K Club is that once I'm done here by the end of the week, there'll be live demonstrations on how to get this done inside of the club. It's $7 a month right now, just right now. That ain't gonna last for long. I've said this every single live broadcast that we are opening this up right now because it is brand new and we want to make sure that people have access to it. But it will not be $7 a month after the end of March. That just ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna be able to maintain it that way. But for right now, if you're somebody that's like, you know what, I enjoyed that conversation. I like the idea of adding a digital product to my mix. Um, because I feel like it's something that I could create with these, then get in the K Club, take a screenshot of this. If you're on your phone, I know a lot of you all are watching on your phone. If you're on your phone, take a screenshot, email it to yourself, and then take a picture of the um, QR code later, so that you can join. Okay. You go in $7 a month, you're going to get this replay. And then by Friday, we're going to have additional resources to help you execute what we're doing each and every day live. Okay. This week, we're going to dedicate our time to making sure there's stuff like this as far as your multiple streams of income, because that's kind of the focus for the week. So we're going to make sure there's downloads, help you determine what type of additional what type of additional revenue stream you would like to create for your company. And then once you've determined what type of additional revenue stream you want to create for your company, then some techniques and how to get that done. Last week, we were talking about business structure, and there's a quiz in there right now, as well as a download for those of us that are creatives that's kind of been operating a little janky. Maybe you ain't got no business structure in place. You haven't set yourself up. There's a quiz inside of there that will help you determine what type of business structure you should be. And then from there, it gives you a checklist on the things that you need to do in order to set that structure up to make sure you are compliant and to make sure you get the greatest tax benefit from your business structure. This week, we're talking about multiple streams of revenue based off of the popularity for the week. We'll look at the videos and say, okay, that one needs some additional support, and we'll add that to the K Club. $7 a month right now. We are looking at what that price is going to be based off of what we have to put in it. Again, that'll go up at the end of the month, but we got the full month of March to figure that out. Okay. So today we talked about adding digital products to your business line. Really hope that was helpful for you guys. Here, let me go check. Everywhere we good. All right, cool. Really hope that was helpful for you guys and gave you something to chew on, right? Gave you something to chew on. You ain't got to make a decision right now. You don't have to decide if this is something that you want to implement right now. But if you are like, that's interesting, I kind of like the thought of that, then come on to the club, child, because I'm going to teach you exactly how to get this done. And then for those of you that are like, okay, I like the teaching idea. Like, I really want to teach. At the end of March, early April, we're going to run a challenge. It's not going to be free, okay? I just want to let you set that up right now. It's not going to be free. But we're bringing back an old teaching challenge that we used to do long time ago. It's called Teaching a Week. And in 5 days, I teach you how to figure out your expertise, what you're going to talk about, how to package it inside of a course, how to price it, and how to set up your infrastructure in order to sell it. Will you have the content in a week? That's going to be up to you. Okay. But it's a very aggressive course that says, okay, I want to create a digital product in the form of a course, by way of a course. I've got this thing that I'm really good at, and I want to be able to sell it. That challenge is going to be for you. We're going to get together every day for 5 days, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to package that so that you can make some money on the internet. Okay. But until then, get inside the club, child. Get these additional resources. And then tomorrow we will be back live again, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, talking about some additional revenue streams that you can add to your business as a creator. That can help you, diversify your income portfolio. All right. Thanks for sticking around, guys. It's been great. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. I will holler at y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bye now. hello, everybody. We got all the platforms up and running. How's everybody's morning going so far? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Woo! So this morning, we are talking about how you can incorporate affiliate marketing into your multiple streams of income strategy, even if you aren't an influencer. And this morning, I'm kind of going off the rip because this is a conversation that I could have for hours on hours and hours on hours, because it is absolutely something that I have been doing for the entirety of my career, long before influencer marketing was a thing, long before it was popular to kind of be like this content creator. I was promoting other folks' stuff and taking advantage of the coins. Good morning, Greta. Long before this was a thing. So today, we're going to have a conversation about how you can incorporate affiliate marketing into your strategy, even if you just run like an everyday business, because the possibilities are really endless. And I want to make sure that as you are building out your business structure and your offerings and trying to figure out how you can diversify, that there are things that are easy for you to do that don't require a lot of work that is going to take you away from the main thing. Because we always want the main thing to be the main thing. Like, we don't want to dilute what we got going on because we're trying to establish multiple streams of income in our business. We want to make sure that as we are incorporating more things into our business, that we are doing it in a way where it is more natural to what we're already doing versus adding an additional business to our business model, if that makes sense. So this morning, we're going to have that little chit chat because I want to make sure that you are seizing every opportunity that you can to take advantage of every coin that you can take advantage of. All right. So I want to make sure that we are all good everywhere, everywhere. It looks like it. Okay. Instagram. At some point, y'all, I'm gonna figure y'all out. I promise. What I may do is have to incorporate another um, piece of software. I sure don't want to, but I may have to for Instagram because it's really hard for me to keep up with y'all. And I'm looking at, as we're streaming, there's a huge lag. So I don't want that to be a bad experience over on the gram. So one or two things might happen. IG, you may need to join us either on Facebook or on YouTube. Um, but we'll deal with that, as time comes. So before we hop into today's conversation, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So for the past we've officially been on live for a week. Look at us. Last Wednesday is when we started going live, having these business conversations. And in that time, we've talked about business structure. We've talked about making sure that you separate your finances so that you can be separate from your business. And then this week, we started talking about how you can make sure you have multiple streams of revenue coming into your business. Now, these conversations are talking to you as if you already have a business, which that is my assumption. If you are here, that you are some type of creative business owner, whether it be your content creator or aspiring content creator, whether you offer some type of service in exchange for your time, whether you are like a designer. I know a lot of my interior designers that I work with are looking at ways that they can better incorporate some of these systems into their business. So when I'm having these conversations, I'm assuming that you're already running some type of business. You might be new, or you might be doing this, you might have been doing this for a little while, but my assumption is that there is already some type of business happening or trying to happen, which is the reason why we're having these conversations, or you're willing to be a part of these conversations. Now, our goal here every week or every day of the week, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. The goal is to be here with you live. Right now, we're streaming everywhere. We're streaming Facebook, we're streaming YouTube, we're streaming TikTok, we're streaming Instagram, which is absolutely wonderful. It's been a great experience. We're going to do that throughout the month of March, but I do want to let you know I will be on vacation. So while these are live, and we're still going to be live, next week is spring break. So I am a mother. So I will be taking off to be with the kids, but I've already prepared some information to go live with you guys. It just won't be an hour long live. It might be 30 minutes because these will be pre-recorded videos that will stream live at this time. I'm still going to be checking comments. I'm still going to be checking the follow-up when it comes. But I just wanted to let you know that if it feels a little different next week, that's because it is. That's because it is. And that is because um, we are that is because what's the word I'm looking for? That's because we're going to be on vacation. And I just want to be honest with you and transparent about the way things are going to work because we will be on vacation. So now that that is out of the way, let's hop into this affiliate marketing conversation because this is something that I am, if I could be real honest, quite passionate about because I've been doing it since the inception of my business before I realized what affiliate marketing was. So when we talk about affiliate marketing, one of the things that comes up a lot for people when I'm having like these private conversations is that most people think affiliate marketing is only for influencers. Like right now, influencers have a good and bad rap, right? Depending on which platform you are engaging with influencers on. I've seen the conversations. Some of y'all like go real hard for us, and then the rest of y'all be like, oh, y'all lying. And I'm a consumer, so I get it. But most of the time, when we talk about affiliate marketing, the first thought that comes to mind is influencer. And while that is true, a lot of influencers do take advantage of affiliate marketing. We got platforms like LTK, um, Collective Style, all types of places that you can go and find links for products that you normally use and recommend and you love and trust. When I talk about affiliate marketing in terms of service based business owners, I'm talking about incorporating tools that you're already using in your business, especially if you offer like consulting of some type, where you're going to be helping other people replicate an activity in your business. A lot of times there are opportunities for you to earn revenue on some of the tools that you might be suggesting to your customers, in addition to just products that you love and you enjoy that you really stand behind. So, when we talk about affiliate marketing today, I want you to take the connotation that you have about influencers off, and I want you to look at your specific business and how you are operating today. And as I share the information that we're talking through, I want you to think about the opportunities that you have to go and find opportunities for revenue in your business that are not going to take you outside of the business that you already operate in. Okay. So, when it comes to affiliate marketing and pulling it into your business, one of the first things that I want you to do as a business owner is I want you to evaluate the type of business that you have. So I'm going to use my marketing company today as the example. Okay. So we run a business automation company that helps other service based business owners set up like marketing campaigns and landing pages and websites and stuff like that, email marketing campaigns in their own businesses. So, anytime we are working with clients, there are tools and softwares that we're going to recommend for them to use in order for them to get similar results in their business that we get in ours, or for them to be able to accomplish their goals. So, for me as a business owner, when I am helping other business owners set up their business, there's a certain line of tools that I use in my business that they're standard, they are tried and true. I know how to use them. I know that they're going to get amazing results. And on top of that, they are something that I can't live without. And I know that my customers would see similar value if they incorporated it into their own structures as well. So when I start to look at those tools, I'm looking, and this is a practice that I want you to look and say, what am I already using that is already getting me results that I am now recommending to other people to get similar results? And when you start to look at that, you'll start to find that there are things that come up on a consistent, regular basis all the time that just make sense. And then once you go and figure out what those tools and products and stuff that you're already using are, then I want you to go and look for opportunities to earn from them. So I'm not saying going to pitch them because there's a difference between affiliate marketing and partnership. We're not looking for partnership, at least not just yet. What we're looking for is, I'm using this CRM. Does this CRM offer like a referral based type program that if I refer this product to somebody else that's going to use it all the time, that they're willing to give like a commission to me for that recommendation? That's the kind of structure we're on when we talk about affiliate marketing as a service based entrepreneur. So, what I want you to do when you're asking these questions and you're evaluating the tools that you're using, write them all down, make a list. Okay. So, for me, I know in my business, there's a handful of tools that I'm going to recommend each and every time I get ready to get started with the client. So, when I was looking for opportunities, I said, okay, based on these tools, let me start on their website and see if they offered some type of commission program. Companies, software companies especially, are really good at having like referral based programs in place that a lot of times you don't have to look far to find it. Okay. A lot of times you can log into your very own dashboard, and, and you'll see something that says affiliate program or referral program. And that's the key. That's what you're looking for. Now, if it's not as easy as logging into your own software and seeing something like that, then what I recommend you do is go down on their website and scroll down to the bottom of the page. At the bottom, especially when we're talking like softwares and stuff like that, there's usually something at the bottom of the page that says referrals, affiliates, commissions, or something like that. You can always, I want to say 9 times out of 10, find something at the bottom of their page if it's not easily attainable or available to you inside of your dashboard. Once you found that information from them, then I want you to go click on it and see what the requirements are in order for you to be an affiliate. Tons of times, tons of times, it's nothing. Tons of times it's nothing. If you offer some type of software, like I remember in the beginning, I know like for Go High Level, it's very easy for me to go in and create an affiliate link and share that with you all. Is there a little bit of sign up? Yes, but whatever the company requires you to do, you do that, fill out the form. Usually it's an automatic approval and they give you a link to share, which is usually has your information. It's like a referral code and they put your information at the end of it so that if somebody clicks on it and signs up through this link, you're going to get paid a percentage of whatever that sale is for a specific amount of time. Okay. Easiest way to get started if you're running a service based business because it doesn't require anything. It is already something that you're doing. It's a tool that you use and you trust. You're working with clients already, helping them get set up in the capacity in which you're helping them get set up. So instead of when you set them up, you say, hey, go here. You're going to say, here are the list of tools that you need. Like when we get started, there's a onboarding list for our clients. Here are the tools that you're going to need in order to work with us. Here are the links to go and purchase those. We do disclaim that these links, if you purchase through these links, we are going to earn a small commission, but that does not affect our perception of the tool or the efficacy of this tool and how it's going to work with you. We just use it all the time. So we found out that they had commission structures in place. So we're sharing it with you. It's as simple as being as transparent as that, because that allows you to send them to where they need to go. And once they sign up, depending on the platform, some platforms through their direct affiliate programs pay up to like 20% in commissions for the lifetime of the client. So for us in our business model, we offer like website setup, CRM setup, social media tools and graphic creation tools and stuff like that. So for us, we have key affiliate links for each one of those places that each and every time their license renews, we make a commission. Each and every time they pay their fee, we earn a commission. Each and every time they're using these creative tools like Adobe, we are Adobe ambassadors. So every time somebody uses like Adobe Express and their subscription goes through, we earn a commission off of that. And it's nothing extra that we have to do. It's just a part of, we just incorporated it into what we were already doing. So instead of just sharing general links, we did a little bit of extra work that took us maybe an hour to go find this stuff and added it to our onboarding process so that each and every customer that comes in that we service, we know that there's going to be some some type of commission coming through. And we can be working with them one on one or not. As long as they are keeping their accounts active, then we earn a commission off of that. This is useful for us in a service based industry because a lot of times people that come to work with us, like we offer high end pricing. We offer high end services in order to work with us on a one on one basis to retain us, like on a monthly basis. That's not something that is necessarily affordable for everybody to do. We've come back now to an environment where we're going live every week and we're going to be teaching. Like, as a coach, if you are somebody that uses education in order to build your audience, like, this is really key for you because while there are different ways to monetize your content, being here on YouTube, being on TikTok, being on Instagram, sometimes those things require you to get a lot of views, which in some cases takes a little bit of time to do. I'm not saying that you don't want to be monetized in that way. I'm just saying that if there are other ways for you to monetize your content without you having to work with someone one on one, and it's already doing something that you're going to do regardless, why not have that system in place where you can go and make recommendations based off of stuff that you already do? This is not anything that you're adding. This is just based off of recommendations that you are already using and earn a commission off of it. So, an environment like this, take what we're doing here for an example, right? So, we're live all over the place. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Instagram, we're live on TikTok. If I come here and do any demonstrations for you all on how to use a CRM, on how to set up your WordPress website with a particular theme, on how to make sure you are getting your virtual address. Like last week, we talked about virtual addresses. I get commission off of recommending the tool that I use for my virtual addresses. I'm using it anyway. I trust it. Anytime I'm coming here, I'm not charging you to be here with me to have these conversations. This is totally free. And as a coach, I don't want to feel like I got to come here and hold back, right? But it takes a lot of prep work in order for us to have these types of conversations. So if this is a business model that you're interested in pursuing, you want to go live, you want to teach your expertise, we know that in this environment, some of us hit right away, and then some of us take a little while over time for the audience to build. And if we know that to be true, then we need to be able to monetize our content without having to do anything extravagant, right? So I'm on YouTube on a brand new business channel as of last week. There's only 40 people there. I ain't getting no ad revenue from that, right? But I'm going live each and every day, which is why you see us say you don't need like 1,000 subscribers and all this good stuff to be monetized. You just got to have structure and strategy in place in order to make sure you do it. And this is one of the ways that you can do it. So, service based, you're looking at products that you already use. You're saying, okay, um, I already use this. I already trust this. Let me go and see if they got some referral programs. If they do got if they do have, sorry, if they do have referral programs, I just want you to make like a little Google sheet, okay? And I want you to call it affiliate links, okay? And in your Google sheet, I want your columns to be called company and referral link and website. Company, you're gonna put the company that it is. So whatever piece of technology, whatever that it is, the name of the software, the tool, whatever it is that you're recommending, put that name there. In the second column, I want you to put referral link. And in the third column, I want you to put the general website just so you know where to go. Okay. Once you have this, then you're going to take that information and put it into your onboarding that you're going to automate. And we'll talk about that later. Okay. So once we have maximized on all of the tools, all of the things that we already use, right? We're already doing this, not adding anything extra to us. Then we got to put a content plan in place to say, okay, now how am I going to get more people to take advantage of this outside of the people that I work with on a one-on-one basis? Because let's be real, us as service-based business owners, we have a certain capacity on how many people we can work with on a one-on-one basis. And if you really enjoy that, if you're really like, I like this, because some of us get addicted to this, right? Some of us, that's where influencing comes in. Some of us are like, I like being able to run my mouth for about 45 seconds, talk a little noise, and share some, feedback about my real life experience, okay? Because we want these to be real life experiences. We are real life experience content creators. Even if we turn into influencers, it is based off of our real life lived experience. We ain't getting on the internet just accepting everything and hopping on here telling no lies. We're gonna actually take our time and use the product and have valuable feedback so that people will trust us and take our recommendations at what they are and increase our opportunities to make sales. Okay. So once we have incorporated this into our business structure, and you start to see them couple $100, because I'm telling you, like for us, we can run 10 to 15 retainer based clients a month at a time. Okay. Depending on the software, and depending on the subscription model of that software, that is a few extra $100 a month per software that we're recommending based on our clientele. Okay. So we've got retainer based, we've got our retainer fees that we're charging. We've got our affiliate income that's coming in on top of our retainer fees just for having clients on retainers that are using the tools that we have recommended to them. We ain't done nothing extra yet. We ain't got to the internet yet because we haven't had to. But then we are online marketing to find new customers. And we may not ever, there may be people that join us in conversations on the internet that will never, ever, ever hire us for our services, but they will take advantage or they will take us up on the things that we recommend. So now that we have this list, and the reason why we put it in a spreadsheet on top of being able to put it in something like our onboarding campaigns for our one-on-one clients is because our spreadsheet is going to serve us when we create our content plan to come to the internet to start running our mouth and actually using social media to build up our brand about around this particular niche that we are an expert in so that we can immediately from day one start to incorporate an affiliate strategy even if the audience is small. Because despite popular belief, even if you have a small audience, you can highly monetize that audience if you have products, services, and offers behind you. So it is very important that you are very clear on what your offers are before you get to the internet so that you're not just spinning your wheels on the internet. And then if people ain't going to take you up on the personal offers, then having something else in place, which is your affiliate marketing that allows you to come and run your mouth without boundaries, without red tape, because even though you're coming here and spending 30 minutes, 45 minutes of your day sharing very valuable information that some people pay for, there is still an opportunity for you to monetize, even if it's not attached to your personal services. And that is because you've got one stream of revenue, personal services, second stream of revenue, affiliate marketing. And now you can set up a whole 12 weeks of content based around one big idea, break that down into 12 weeks of content, and every time you talk about it, there's an opportunity to interject your affiliate link. Because why? You are smart and you've got it in a spreadsheet so that when you're creating your notes and you're going to AI and saying, hey, write me a description for this content, here's the CTA links that include my personal services and my affiliate link. There used to be a world in the online marketing world where we would say, hey, come to the internet, but just have one call to action. That is great. And there are particular times where I think that is true. Like if you're running webinars, stuff like that, one call to action. But if you're here, if you're here and you are online, you have made a reel, you have took your time to make a TikTok, a YouTube short, a Facebook reel, whatever you're creating. If you have taken your precious time, time is money. And if people don't want to pay you for your personal money or personal time, that's okay. Allow them to pay you for it based off of the recommendations that you give that are true and honest to your own experiences. Okay. So put them affiliate links in your spreadsheet and then create your content plan where you can go and do both. Because we need to do both of these at the same time. We need to build our personal brands based around our expertise to sell our services. And we need to build our personal brands based on our expertise and incorporate affiliate marketing so that even if somebody is not ready to pay us for our services, they are willing to pay us for the technology that we use to help them make their lives better. because that is the reality. Sometimes it takes a really long time for people to make up their mind about whether or not they want to work with you one on one, but they are a lot quicker to say, oh, they're using Optimize Press to build a WordPress site. Okay, cool. Let me go and get this theme and let me keep showing up to learn from them in order to effectively use it. Following me? Okay. All right. So we've identified products that we've already used. Right now, based on what we're talking about, we have not done anything extra, which is doing what we do. Okay. We just setting ourselves up to be who we are and be great and do what we do. So we have went and identified the tools that we already use. We have applied for their referral programs, taking the steps necessary in order to get links so that we can link to these products and services that we're already using so we can make them available to our customers and so that we can make them available to our audiences, whomever they're going to be. Even if you're speaking from a stage and you don't have like a book or something that is going to be yours, if there's something that you recommend, drop that link in there, baby, and a QR code, and boom, you're ready to go. Okay. So now that we've got the things that we are already interested in, that we are already using, and we've taken a little time 3 to 6 months to build up an audience of people that trust us. Hopefully, we're making evergreen content enough so that no matter if they catch this video today or 6 months from now, that information is available to them so that they can go and take advantage of it. And you will find this is so true. Okay. When I started my design channel on YouTube, this is how this worked. Okay. From a content creation standpoint, I would come on, I talk about building a house. I would be sharing products and stuff that we would be putting in the house based on evergreen links. This is why something like LTK and stuff like that is so powerful because these links are evergreen. They're not attached to any type of timeline. And this is the difference between affiliate marketing and influencer campaigns. Because in affiliate marketing, if you just share your link, and that product is in stock and that program is still available, you will get the commission based on the parameters around how long it takes for people to shop. Okay. That's why Amazon Associates is so popular. That's why LTK and stuff like that is so popular because if you got it, it's evergreen. And if you don't know what evergreen means it's the same today, tomorrow, a year after. It's long lasting, it's not attached to any type of time limit. Okay. So if you can master creating evergreen opportunities for your business, then at that point, you can then come to the internet and not be pissed if it's only 5 people in your live, or if you only reach a couple hundred people. If those couple hundred people are truly interested in what you're saying and 20 of them take advantage of whatever it is that you have offered, boom, you got income coming in that's going to help you meet your goals and make creating content for the internet that much easier. Okay. So let's talk real quick about some things that you want to know as far as how these links are shared and when you get the credit. Okay. Because we're talking evergreen and these are things that you're sharing. There might be somebody else in the world that's sharing it. There is a thing called an attribution window that most companies will put in place. You want to read the fine print when you're doing this because you need to know how long after somebody clicks on this link will you get the credit for it and how you can share the link. Okay. So once you have the links, you know what you got, you know what you're working with, you kind of have your plan in place. In your spreadsheet, add a notes column. Okay. And in the notes column, you want to know how long is the traffic from the click going to be attributed to you? Meaning, if you're on the internet, like we're talking here, and I share a link to something that I like yesterday, we did an intro to Go High Level for YouTube. There's a referral link down in the description. How long after somebody clicks this link before they come back, even if they clicked on another creator's link, do I have in order to get the credit for it? So sometimes you'll have windows like 7 days, sometimes you'll have windows like 21 days. You just need to know what that time period is and make a note of it. Okay. One of the things that we learned about Amazon Associates when first signing up is that you have to have approved sites in place where you can actually share the link. So there's sometimes where you have to tell Amazon, hey, I'm gonna be creating content here, 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 and here, so that if a link is clicked from this place, it counts as a referral source. There's been some instances, like with the client of mine, she had some links and she was just directly sending it to people and she wasn't getting credit for it because where it was coming from wasn't approved. So you need to read the details and see how you can share the link, where it needs to be shared in order for you to get the credit. Okay. So you got timing, how long between the click and the sale do you get credit for it? Where can you share it from? And then how can you advertise? So if your plan is to go live or to create social content around a particular piece of subject matter, and you're going to incorporate an affiliate link, there are certain terms that some affiliates say, hey, you can't run paid advertising to target these terms, and you need to know what that is so you don't violate your agreement. Okay. A lot of us don't do paid advertising campaigns to increase our affiliate sales. Excuse me, most of the time it's just through organic content, like building our email list and coming to create these types of videos that will be present on the internet for a long time and utilizing our current client base in order to help us. But when you get into stuff like influencer marketing and blogging and stuff like that, there are parameters in which you can share and making sure that you don't violate the terms, because the brand doesn't want you targeting their name in an ad campaign, because now you're their direct competition. Like, you could talk about them, but you can't do like a CPC or a cost per click ad targeting thisbrand.com because you're an affiliate. You know, you got to take, they're not saying you can't pay ad, you can't use paid advertising. They're just saying if you're going to do it, these keywords, this category can't be categorized, can't be targeted based on that. So, another way that we incorporate affiliate links into our strategies, as far as your content plan is concerned, is to look at things like writing a blog, despite what you think. And I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna prove it to you. Imma prove it to you, okay? Hey, Terrell. I'm going to prove this to you in future lives, all right? Despite what you think, blogging ain't dead, all right? It ain't dead. Now, there's a strategy, and it does take a little bit of work, and if I were you, especially right now, I would get your blog up. Okay. I would get your blog up. Not to be political, but the internet, social media, uh, whew, you know, depending on what's going on, you may or may not get the reach that you're looking for. And search engine optimization is a little bit more friendly from a content creator standpoint than social media can be in some instances. So if you are able to create blog content, and I'm gonna drop this on y'all. I might do a pre-recorded video. This might be a part of the pre-recorded strategy for next week while we're gone. Um, there is a way. There's a course over on my website. If you've not been to my website, go to my website, kwhitaker.com/resources. And there's a course that we're updating on the website. I'm not even going to do it live. It will be a course, and it's called the Social Media Takedown. I need to update it just because I look different and the game is a little bit differently. But specifically for service-based entrepreneurs, Social Media Takedown, the idea is you create one piece of content and you repurpose that thing all over the place to help you create 900 pieces of content within one piece of effort. Okay. Now there's a strategy to this. And my strategy has always been starting with live content, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I'll share more about that in the future. But if you're blogging, your affiliate links, you have to disclose that they're there, but they should be there. And they should be there in the same way that we're talking about going live, in the same way we're talking about creating your social content. You want to find things that are evergreen, that you can talk about, that are not going to change tomorrow. So let me give you an example of what that might look like. Okay. So as an influencer, we get hired for campaigns. And a campaign it has a start time and an end time, right? There's a specific message that the company is trying to drive home, and it is something specific that they are promoting for in a specific amount of time. So they'll go out and find a lot of us influencers to create content to help them support this campaign for this amount of time. And during that campaign, there's a link for savings and attribution for the creator, right? But the savings and the time that that creator can earn revenue is only for a short period of time. Okay, it's not for eternity. So when you're working on campaigns to be an affiliate, it's a little bit different because it is time sensitive. It's like it's got to happen right now, which means you got to have the reach, the impressions, and the audience to be able to get the traffic now to drive the sales. That's a little bit more pressure. It could be done if you really take your time and build your audience and focus in and dig in. It can be done and it is very lucrative. Been doing it for years. But for somebody that's just getting into the affiliate marketing game, it could be a little stressful. So what you want to do is instead of pursuing those type of relationships, you create your own content that you have control over that doesn't have a start and an end. It's just for educational purposes. And it is teaching people how to use something, demonstrating how something goes, giving the benefits, the value based off of your own personal experience that's not attached to any time. Now, if you are accepted into some affiliate campaigns, you will get emails that say, hey, we've got this campaign going on. Share this with this code for this amount of time, and we'll increase your earnings. That's cool too. But I'm talking about full control for something that you are already doing, not adding a layer. We can talk levels, right? This is entry level affiliate marketing 101. Okay. If him and Talk wasn't tripping, we could have had this conversation. But this is like the one-on-one crash course, right? This is you have full control. This is you have the ability to manage the messaging around it. And if done correctly, you can put it in a place like on your blog, on your YouTube channel, on your social channels, and it never goes away. If somebody clicks and they purchase within the window that this program says it offers it in, you make the commission and you are just out here in the streets living your best life, going live, doing your 30-second videos, your 15-second videos, and having a time of your life, having a good time and making your money. And sometimes, guys, you can get so good at this, especially if you really dig deep and put your feet down and put your head down and build your audience where this is, this is a full-time living. This is a full-time living. You wonder why those of us that are on YouTube that are like, I don't even care that it's only 6,000 people here. That's cool because every time I post a video, I'm making money. Every time I wake up, I'm making money because I was smart about the way I monetize my content. And I'm not looking for somebody else to do it. I'm not looking trying to go get these brand deals and all other kind of stuff. Not to say that if that's an aspiration, it shouldn't be. It can be, but you don't need brand deals in order to make money using the internet, especially if people are not ready to pay you for your one-on-one retainer-based or project-based type services. This is just another way to add a layer of income doing some stuff that you already do. It's already been done. It's already a part of what you're doing. You are just maximizing your revenue based off of gaps or revenue gaps that are already there. Like when people come to us and they're like, okay, I want to use the internet to make money. This is one of the first pieces of the audits that we do. What's your primary service? What tools are you recommending? Do they have affiliate programs? Let's get you signed up. Outside of that, when you're making content on the internet, what are you doing? What are you talking about? For me, I'm coming to the internet and talking about a little bit of everything. Home decor. I'm talking about skincare products that I use. I'm not a beauty influencer, but there might be a lotion that make my skin feel real soft, and that's when places like your LTK and stuff like that come into place. But if you don't want to do all of that, you just want to be an infopreneur, baby, don't miss these opportunities. Don't sleep on them. I'm talking any and everything that you use. Okay. All right. Let me go grab something for you. I want to give you my online business toolkit. This is a free tool. Okay. It's over on my website. I'm not going to trust y'all to go to my website. I'm going to drop the link for it real quick. It's on the resources pages of my website, but I'm going to put in a QR code so you can hit it here. I want you to go and get the online business toolkit. If you're a part of the K Club, you get it for free. Look inside of your community and go, it's already there. If you're not in the K Club, then I'm going to let you get access to this at no cost. And I want you to get access to the online business toolkit. And here's what's going to happen. Okay. When you go grab it, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to put the resources link in the comments and then I'm going to make a QR code for it. When you go grab it, my online business toolkit is full of affiliate links. Okay. It's full of affiliate links, not because I just wanted to make a toolkit that had affiliate links. It is because there is stuff that I use in business regardless: cameras, microphones, uh, keyboards, mice, productions, lights, all types of stuff that I use. People ask me all the time, "Kay, when you go live, what kind of camera are you using? What kind of lights do you have? What's that back there?" Like, there's always a question. Okay, there's always a question. So for me, instead of blogging about it, especially for business owners that have been inspired by what I'm doing, it's a lot easier to put it in a toolkit and allow you to do it. If you go to the website and you see online business toolkit, just register, it'll send it right to you, give you access to it, and it'll send you right to it. This is a fluid document. I am always adding content into this toolkit because there's always something else that I'm incorporating into my own strategy that I'm recommending to my clients that I'm like, okay, this will be good for somebody else too. Okay. I'm gonna put a QR code up here. Let me make one real quick. Online business toolkit. Oh, resources page here. I'm gonna put it up for you. Okay. As always, when we are live, if you see a QR code and you are watching from your phone, screenshot, email it to yourself, and then scan it from your email. Okay. This is easy. Or you know what? From there, I am going to put uh connect. Here we go. I didn't put no picture up. I'm gonna make it bigger for you so you can get the deal. Uh Never mind. That's not working. I don't want to do it while we're live because it's gonna take me away from the conversation. So just scan a QR code up there in the corner. Okay. But that's it, y'all. Like, if you are doing something like that, if you are just taking the time, as simple as it is, to go and review what you're already using, to see what their programs offer and sign up for those programs and make it a part of your onboarding process. If you are offering one-on-one services, then now you've added more income um, each and every month to your business, and you ain't done nothing extra for it. You just took advantage of opportunities. And then once you have maximized on your one-on-one clients and you start coming to the internet to market to get more one-on-one clients, for those that are not willing to pay for your one-on-one services, because we got to be real, y'all. We got to know that everybody is not going to sign up for one-on-one services just because they're available. Some people don't, and for whatever reason, we don't know what the reasons are. The reasons are the reasons, but the reality is, I don't want you to come to the internet and think you're gonna make a live video and you're gonna book 17 clients. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Okay. It's never worked that way, and it still doesn't work that way. It will take time for you to build trust and value with your audience for them to pay you for something one-on-one. It's a lot of us on the internet talking about what we know and how to get stuff done. There's so many messages on the internet right now that people are taking a lot longer to sign up for on a one-on-one basis. And that's their right, as they should, right? But just because they're not willing to sign up for a one-on-one service does not mean that they are not willing to take you up on products that you recommend, on things that you say work. It's a lot easier for somebody to pull out a credit card, and I don't know why this is, but it's a lot easier for somebody to pull out a credit card to go get a piece of technology and work through it on their own than it is for them to pay you. And that's cool. We don't get offended by that. The mature people don't get offended by that. We say, "Oh, okay, cool. Let me find another way to monetize this." Yesterday, we talked about digital products. Digital products are a great way to go because it's a very low cost way to get some experience with working with you if you are an infopreneur, or if you just have something that you can teach that doesn't require a huge commitment. Getting on the phone with you, even for a complimentary call, A discovery call, sitting and asking somebody to commit 15 minutes to you to tell you about their problems is a big commitment for people right now. It ain't, I mean, it's not as easy as one may think, but it is a lot easier because, and here's why, and this is just an assumption. I don't know if this to be true, but I think it is a lot easier for people to sit in what they don't know with themselves than to be vulnerable with that with a stranger. If I am just meeting you on the internet, I don't know nothing about you. I may like you, but I don't, especially those of us that are older in age. Like, we move a lot different than young folks. Let me say that, okay? Like us older, like 40 plus group up, we'd be like, we're a little bit more skeptical of folks, so we take our time. We've learned in life that everything ain't a rush. Everything is not a race, it's a marathon. And we have learned that, the way we spend our money and how that investment is going to help us be better, greater later, is something that should not be taken lightly. We manage finances a little bit differently than, say, a younger person that's a little bit more willing to take a risk faster. So, and I'm not saying this to be ageist or anything like this. I'm a 40 plus year old woman too, and I'm like that. Okay. We just are a little less risk. What's the word I'm looking for? We don't take risk as fast in life. We've experienced more disappointments and letdowns in life. And maybe we've been around the block a couple of times with other folks that have promised us stuff. And that kind of stuff carries over into the way that we make decisions in business sometimes, which causes us to move a little slower. We need more details, we need more time. And I'm not willing to hop on and share my insecurities, share my share my shortcomings with somebody that I barely know. Like, I need a little bit more from you. So if you can teach me something to get me from point A to point A and a half, and I get there with some level of success, your digital products that we talked about yesterday will help kind of connect those dots. So sometimes you got to look at your content strategy and say, okay, and I know we're talking affiliate marketing, but this is going to be helpful for you when you start to share these links. Sometimes you got to look at your content strategy when you come to the internet and say, okay, instead of me going for big, let me look at the sales journey of a normal customer and the time that it takes in order for them to build trust and get to me. And let me put things in place that can help them get there. Affiliate links help them get there because if they go and have a good experience with the product or the service that you've recommended, that's a good experience based off of your recommendation. It shines positively on you. If you take your time and create a valuable digital product and they have a good experience and experience a good result, then that is a reflection of you, again, adding a little tick to your marker. And we don't know how many ticks it takes for some folks in order for them to pull the full trigger. So having stuff like this is not selfish. It's not just about you. It's about making sure that the experience of the end user is a positive one, and that positive experience is at a direct reflection of your recommendation, so their trust level goes up for you. You keep making positive recommendations, the trust level goes up. So when you finally get to a point where you have earned the right to say, hey, I've made all of these recommendations for you and you've had a good experience, now trust me to hold your hand and walk you through this next step of where you need to be. Because depending on where folks are when they are consuming your content, it's going to determine what's going to be best for them. So for you, especially when we're talking about using the internet, you always want to have something in place that meets people at different levels of where they are. And this is going to be you truly understanding how your ideal client is going to go from not knowing you at all to trusting you to help them cross the bridge, the big bridge that they need to cross, that you can help them get across, and having products, recommendations, and systems in place to help them get there. So while we talk about affiliate marketing and it may just seem like a money grab, what it really is your ability as the business owner to understand the needs of your audience, make recommendations based on their needs that are going to provide positive and forward moving activity for them so that they build trust not only in the tools that you're using, but in you as the recommender. So when you say, hey, you make your hard sale and say, hey, I got this available for you and I want you to take advantage of it. The answer is a no brainer because they've spent enough time experiencing parts of you based on your recommendations that they now trust you enough to make the big step. That makes sense. So this isn't just about, you and your pockets. This is about the experience of the end user. So as you are going to find these affiliate opportunities, I want you to keep that in mind because I don't want you to just take any and everything. And like if you have crossed the bridge where you're like, okay, Kay, I can easily incorporate this with my clients, but I want to come to the internet and I want to use my influence to make money too. Like, be careful who you align yourself with, especially now. There are certain products that I'm just not going to recommend. I might use it, but I'll never recommend it. And sometimes I'll stop using it just based off of the values of that company and the experience that I've had. Um, so when you get to a position where you've built community and you've got people trusting you, be sure that what you are recommending is providing positive relationships for the people and influencers. This one is for you. Uh, don't come to the internet just promoting stuff because people are willing to pay. Because we get paid a lot of money sometimes to promote some stuff that we ain't had no experience with. And sometimes just because there's a check attached, that's why the internet don't trust us because we get on these internet and tell people to go experience things that we have no experience with and they have negative reactions. And you wonder why you have influencers with large audiences and the brands are like, well, why we ain't making no sales? It's because the trust in that influencer isn't there. Even though people are entertained by them, they ain't buying nothing because they're not recommending things that offer positive experiences. So don't just go get the affiliate link and you having trouble with this piece of technology. Don't go get the affiliate link and you know that there are some shortcomings that this company has that is going to keep your client from being able to find the success that they need with it without your support. So like if you're working with someone one-on-one and um and you know that you'll be able to support them through the challenges, then okay. But if you're here in this type of environment and you know there's some shortcomings of a piece of software or something like that that somebody's going to need you for and you're making a recommendation for them to go and do it on their own and their level of success ain't going to be what it need to be unless they got your support, you either one need to say that when you make the recommendation or two hold the recommendation for the audience that is going to be able to take full advantage of it even with or without your support. Okay. So get your links, put them in your list, ensure that um, you have opportunities to earn, but also ensure that the audience that you're sharing it with, whether it be one-on-one clients or your audience here on the internet, is going to have a good experience. So it builds their trust in you. So the next time you come and make a recommendation, they'll take it. So you increase your earning opportunities. And when you come and say, hey, I want to work with you directly, or I want to take you through this program, or I want to do the next thing, the next step up in getting closer to working with you one-on-one, they're willing to go. Because people will stick around to be entertained, but that does not mean they're going to pull out the credit card. And your goal right now is to help people pull out the credit card for their gain and yours. All right. They're going to pay you to have positive impacts in their lives. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That is why we pay for stuff because we either need it or we want to enhance our own personal experiences. So if you're going to help do that and incorporate that, keep those things in mind. Okay. So we are approaching the hour mark, and I want to make sure we wrap this conversation before Instagram cuts us off. So as you are going through as early as today, I want you to go and look at the things that you're already using, put them in a spreadsheet, figure out what you need to do to be an affiliate, and figure out a way you can get to your one-on-one clients with it. Sometimes it's too late. If they already have accounts, it's too late. But if you have a new one-on-one client, be sure to incorporate it into that onboarding process. And then two, I want you to sit down and look at how you are sharing content on the internet and figure out a way to make a content strategy around a highly recommended tool that you love, so that you can start to place that link in your content strategy so that you can start to earn revenue even if people aren't paying you for your one-on-one services today. Okay. So that's affiliate marketing in a wrap, guys. I don't want to rush. But I do want to wrap this up because we're going to get kicked off of Instagram in like 2 minutes. If you have questions, drop them down in the comments over on YouTube. Be sure to go check us out on YouTube at Biz Chat with Kay. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Let me hit y'all with this last QR code with the K Club. If you enjoyed today's conversation and you want to see how to get this done, we have the K Club, which is our online vault for creative entrepreneurs, where we not only house these replays, but we also put demonstrations into the K Club and how to do what we're doing. They come with additional videos, additional resources to help you accomplish your goals. Right now, through the end of March, it is only $7 a month to join. To get access to that, just scan the QR code and use the code March25 at checkout, and that will allow you to get access to the K Club for the entirety of your membership for only $7 a month. Now through March. At the end of March, that price is going to go up, friend. But as of now, that will allow you to come over, start to build a little community with folks that are looking to do the same thing with you. And at the end of every week, we add some additional resources in there to help you get what we talked about live all week done in your own business. Thanks for watching, guys. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I will see you back here same time tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, with some more of our conversations with Biz Chat with Kay. Bye now and enjoy the rest of your week or day. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Morning to you. All right, y'all. So this morning, I look tired. Sorry, y'all. It's been a wild morning. I had calls overseas with some folks that I am working with that were early. So I have been up since early this morning, taking calls, doing a little bit of work. And I was like, whew, it's time for us to go live. So this morning we are going to be talking about
ways for some of you all that are smaller creators to earn an income from your skill set online without having to have like a huge social audience. I have been in this business now for um, the past few years. I became an influencer. I've been working online since 2013, but I started influencer marketing back when the pandemic initially happened for reasons that I've discussed in other videos. So over the past couple of years, I've had an opportunity to kind of evolve the way I work in this industry. And one of the things that I like to do is to come and share the experiences that I've had and had some success with those of you all that are willing to listen so we can chit chat about some things that work. Because despite popular belief, even if you don't have the largest social media presence, you can still make a very good income on the internet, um, without having to keep up with like the hustle and bustle that social media can quickly bring. So, if you are a creator where you're like, you know what, I love taking pictures, I love documenting stuff. I love creating beautiful videos, but I just don't necessarily enjoy the idea of having to dig into social media and be present like that. Like, I don't really want to share my life, or I just can't figure out how to grow the largest audience. Today's conversation is for you because I want to talk with you about a strategy that you can use where it's going to require a little bit of work from you, but if you are able to identify the type of work that you want to do, you can earn some really nice income just shooting pictures, taking videos, and not having to worry about your own social media, but doing this for other companies. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, because it is something that even with the decent size like Instagram and stuff like that, in the past couple of years, in the past year, I would say I have focused less on what my social media is doing and a lot more on my creativity and my content and honing in my skills so that I can be an asset to other people. Because just with everything going on, as far as my personal life is concerned, I run a completely different business. We got a bunch of kids. We're in a city where it's just our family. So we don't have all of the things that I had in place when we first began this journey. And it's a lot easier for me just to create content by way of working with companies and providing it to them versus having to figure out how to constantly engage a social media audience to drive sales and stuff like that. Like I've kind of backed off. Maybe I'm older, I don't know, but I've kind of backed off of the whole share my life and putting my kids on Front Street. Again, I have zero issues with people that do it. That is how I started, and I love watching y'all and y'all family. So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't want to do it. Bringing up my wild children um to be up in front of the camera and do stuff like that. It's just more work than what I want to put in, but I still love taking pretty pictures. I still love decorating my house. I still love doing all of the things. Just trying to do it for social media is not what I've fallen in love with. I fell in love with it and out of love with it really, really quick. So today we're going to have a conversation about how you can use your skills in content creation or and figure out how to make some money. If you're into that kind of conversation, I invite you to stick around. I'm going to do some housekeeping real quick because I got to make sure we get some announcements off before we get into the show. But that's the basis of the show. So if you got some content creator friends that y'all have kind of been having these conversations, go ahead, share this video with them. Even if you don't, share the video out with some other business owners. Let them know we're live having a quick conversation, and then drop down in the comments or put some hearts on the screen to let me know you're ready while I'm doing a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Okay. So, housekeeping for those of you that have taken this step with me over the past week since we have been live to join the K Club, shout out to you. Like, high five to you for getting with somebody that you barely know.
But for those of you all that have never met me before, my name is Kay. I have been in this online world since 2013. I have done a whole lot as far as content creation is concerned. I have blogged on WordPress.com. I have um, been live since Periscope was a thing. Like, it's a lot going on. You can learn more about me and my company. We run a business automation company on the interwebs at kwhitaker.com. If you want to learn more about that, and if you want to check out like our interior design firm and our design service, you can look those up over at athomewithk.com. I have a private club called the K Club where I offer additional coaching outside of what we do here on a daily basis. Where not only will you get access to the replays of these live conversations, there are also resources and stuff that we are building out to support you and help you on how to get this done. Currently, as of yesterday, we started recording a mini course that I don't even think some of the members know are coming, that is going to address how to create a digital product so you can create like your first mini course and knowing how to use the technology behind it in order to get that set up. That will be released hopefully by tomorrow. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, hopefully by Friday we can get the rest of that recorded and put up because we will be out on vacation next week. Woohoo! That does not mean we will not be live though. We will still be live. We will still be here at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Those videos will just be pre-recorded, so they may not be an hour long. They'll be 30 minutes long, but K Club members, you will have stuff to work on because that mini course is going to give you plenty to do while I am out. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to follow the page. If you're watching anywhere, be sure you follow me because while I am a content creator and you see lifestyle and garden and home interiors on my profile every day at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, I do try to come here live and talk with other creative entrepreneurs on how you can earn an income by using the internet, but do it as a business, because we are running businesses here. Last week, we talked about structures. If you're in the K Club and you've not got an opportunity to take the quiz on what type of business entity you should be, remember that that is there for you. There is also a checklist once you have determined what type of business entity you should be that will give you the steps to take in order to formally get yourself situated. But outside of that, I think that's all the housekeeping. What else I got? I got a major collaboration coming up in the next few weeks by early April that I'm really excited to share. It's been a long time coming. And those of you that have been keeping up in the IG stories, the laundry room is almost done. It's almost done. The contractors are painting. And you know, when paint hits the wall, whew, the project is almost done. Y'all can keep up with that in the stories. TikTok, I'll post about it later today. But outside of that, I think we've done enough housekeeping. It is 10 minutes past the hour. Let's hop into today's conversation. So today, how you can make some money online being a small creator without having to worry about your social media. So I'm going to speak from experience. I'm going to share my experience and how I work so that you can translate what I'm doing into your own business practices. Pick up some of what I've got going on so that you can start to try to figure out how to do this on your own. One of the first things that I want you to do as a small creator is understand this, okay? There are plenty of companies out there that are more than happy to work with creators and not depend on their social media audiences in order to accomplish their goals. A lot of times, these companies that are willing to work with creators that they call user generated content or content creator generated content, they're willing to work with you all because it's a lot easier to work with us to create content for their companies than it is to have to manage that process on their own. What you have to know about a lot of companies is that sometimes they don't have the largest internal marketing companies. So sometimes finding photographers and videographers and project managing all of that and getting the story told is a lot of work that they just don't feel like doing. These companies that have marketing teams are worried about customer acquisition and their own social channels. So they are happy a lot of times when creators will reach out with a well thought out plan on how they can help them create the content that they need for their own marketing purposes taking that load off of them so they can focus on the stuff that they've been hired by their companies to do, which is go get more customers. Going to get more customers, content is a huge part of that, especially now where most companies are using the internet to acquire their customers. So when you as the content creator are creating content for your social media, please realize that even if you don't have a large audience, it's because you are competing with some of the biggest companies that are outpaying you, have more people that are behind their marketing teams that know how to go and find customers. So they're just outmaneuvering you, and it's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Or you might just be like, girl, that ain't my problem. I just don't like the internet like that. And that's cool too, because I've been there. So, what I need you to understand is that when it comes to you as a small creator, somebody without the largest audience, don't shortcome yourself just because you don't have 100,000 followers, because that ain't the T, sis. The T is, do you have a skill in photography, videography, storytelling that other companies will find valuable that you can utilize to make yourself a living? And if the answer is yes to that, then you're in a perfect position. You just need to know how to find the companies that are willing to work with you. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So, one of the first things that you have to do when you are starting this whole process of kind of leaving your own social media channels behind and really focusing on your skill set is understanding the type of content that you want to shoot. Okay. Just because you are a good photographer and you can take pictures or you can create videos, and don't let people fool you, pictures are still very, very valuable, does not mean that you need to shoot for every industry. The same thing as far as your niche and understanding your audience as far as social media would be concerned. It's the same thing that's going to hold true when you start to take pictures and videos for other companies. You want to narrow down who you're going to shoot for and the type of content that you can shoot so that you can do what's next and build a portfolio that supports what you're looking to do. One of the mistakes that I see a lot of us make is that we think that our Instagram is our portfolio or our TikTok is our portfolio, and you very well can use it for that. But once you've determined the type of content creator that you're going to be and the industry that you're going to serve, you have got to put together a portfolio of work to display what you can do. And sometimes this means that the other content that you've created is just not going to be enough. So I want you to think in terms of like a model, right? A model has this book. I can't even think of the name of it, and I'm trying to use it as an example, but y'all know where I'm going, right? A model has this book that she puts together that displays her skill set. She's got her headshot, she's got her full body shots. She puts together this thing that shows a range of her skill sets so that she can go on these calls, these casting calls, and present herself in the best light. Well, it's the same thing for you if I am a home interiors content creator, but all I have is pictures of like beauty stuff or makeup and stuff like that. I need to spend a little time going to build up my home interiors portfolio so that I have something to show to other home interior companies that I can do for them. Because while photography is great, there are different things that different industries are looking for, different angles, different shots, and you need to educate yourself on what that looks like. And if that's what you want to do, you need to put together a portfolio that resonates with the audience that you're going to be approaching. So even though you may have lifestyle content where it's content of you and your kids, or you have content where you share beauty and makeup tips, but you really want to be shooting for something else, or you have content where you were like me in the beginning where it was all business driven, but not heavy on the lifestyle stuff, you have to go and get that content, which means you're going to have to go and shoot it. Now, if we're having this conversation and you're like, okay, that's a skill, then shooting it isn't a big deal. It's just knowing that you need to put together some work and it needs to be your best work so that you can present yourself in the best light. So determine the industry that you're going to shoot for and the industry that you're going to attack. And then we need content for that industry. Um, Once you've had the content, once you shoot the content, then you need somewhere to house it. So there's several different ways to do this. I see a lot of creators creating like Canva portfolios and stuff like that. And I'm gonna come to the internet, to this internet with every other creator that's doing this that has the possibility to hear this. And I am going to say, if you can find a way to put it on your website, get it to your website if you have one. So I am a huge advocate for sending all traffic to your home base. Like if you were here and a part of our conversations last week, you know that I am a person that believes you should own everything. I'm not saying that you can't go and create a pretty Canva portfolio, but my experience, because we're going to talk about pitching in just a second, my experience is that when we're sending content to brands, they're more interested in the type of content that we can create for them, um, than the packaging that they're in. You can have a very pretty package and fall flat. So if it's creating a Canvas slide deck or putting your work somewhere that's already beautifully designed, I'm going to say go to your website. And let me give you an example of what that looks like. So, we'll talk about that when we get to pitching, but collect your stuff. So, when I say collect, I'll give you an example of what a collection of a portfolio might look like. Okay. So, I'm an interiors creator and I also focus like on lifestyle stuff. So, if you were to go and look at my portfolio on my website at homewithk.com/UGC content creator, boom, boom, boom. I'll leave the link in the comments. You can go see it as an example. If you were to go and look at my portfolio, there are 3 areas that I target. I target interiors, I target lifestyle, and that could be anything from like, products that could be used in your home, food, drinks, stuff like that, and I focus on travel. So when you go to my website to look at my portfolio, those are things that are gonna be present. So there are examples of short form videos that I've done for other brands. I've had the opportunity to work on influencer campaigns. So I use that work to showcase what I'm able to do. There are short form videos that I've just made on my own that highlight products and stuff like that that are housed on the website to showcase my ability. You see pictures of furniture and how I'm able to style furniture. But more importantly than the furniture, you see the angles and the shots. And somebody in that industry that is looking for certain work, I understand what they're looking for per industry, and I make sure that those things are present. You see photographs of myself and my husband on trips, room tours, stuff like that, that would give really clear examples all in one spot of what my capabilities are. And they're housed in a beautiful website that also showcases other stuff that is a reflection of my work. I like it and I prefer it there because when I am pitching, and we'll talk about this in just a second, it's one link that I can send that gives an example of what I'm capable of. And now, if someone goes and visits that website, my website gets traffic, which helps me show up organically in the search engines, all the good stuff. Okay. So there's a method to my madness, but I like to house it on my website. I'm not against creating portfolios in a tool like Canva. All I'm saying is even if you have to present it in Canva and then transfer it to your website, get it to your own domain so you own it. We'll talk. I'll show you how to do that inside of K Club. Okay. Once you have your portfolio, you've done a little work, you know who you are, you know how you're going to shoot. You got to do some work and putting together a value statement. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Then you need to find the opportunities. Okay. One of the things that I hate to see with us is with some small creators is creators sitting back and waiting on opportunities to come to them. Unless you want to be a social media influencer and you want to be on the internet building audience and stuff like that, it's hard to get noticed, especially right now because everybody is a content creator. Okay. So you have to be diligent and work in the background and find the opportunities that are going to serve you. And when I say find the opportunities that are going to serve you, you got to come from behind a computer and be ready to sell yourself. Okay. There are plenty of ways to find opportunities. I want you to do kind of what we talked about yesterday with the service based business owners. I want you to look at what is in your home already that you love, that you have probably built your portfolio with. And I want you to reach out to those companies first. You already have lived experiences with their products. You already have a story to tell. And if you don't have content that you've created for them, it is easy. It will be easy to create something to show as an example. Okay. But starting with things that you already use, love, and own, make a list: 10, 15, 25 things, products, services, companies that you are already familiar with, and make that be your starting point and where you're going to start your pitching process. And when we're starting the pitching process, the first thing we want to do is collect data, and that data is going to be contact information. And you might be like, well, dang, hey, how am I supposed to find that? I am so glad that you asked. Okay. Um, One of the strategies that I have used, that has been very, very, very successful is that I start on the affiliate side. And the reason why I start on the affiliate side, not saying affiliate marketing, I'm saying I start in the affiliate realm, is because a lot of times, if a company is already offering an affiliate program, they are content creator friendly. Okay. So if you are looking for companies to work with, start by finding the person that manages their affiliate programs, or seeing if they have an affiliate program, because if they have an affiliate program, that's an indicator that they are content creator friendly, whether that be social media influencers or whether that be a creator like yourself that just wants to create something and provide value to them. If you can find the affiliate manager and touch base with the affiliate manager and let them know what you want to do. A lot of times, that affiliate manager is more than happy to be the bone collector and take that back to the person that is responsible for pulling together those types of marketing campaigns to help you and them accomplish the goals. But when you pitch, you got to come correct. Okay. So you can't just reach out and be like, hey, I've been using your products. I love it in my home. I'm a content creator and I want to shoot for you. That ain't going to get you. That ain't going to get it for you. Okay. Remember, this is business. And also remember that because they are content creator friendly, because they are influencer friendly, they probably get emails a dime a dozen. Okay. People are all day in their inbox trying to work with them, trying to get something for free that is only one sided. You got to set yourself apart. Okay. But the first thing that you got to do is identify the people that you want to work with. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example of how I would do this. Okay. Or how I currently do this. So, as a content creator, I kind of plan out, especially in the home industry, I plan out what my projects are going to be. So right now we're in the laundry room, but we've got upcoming stuff, and you'll see this play out over the next couple of months. We've got upcoming stuff where I have a focus on what I am trying to accomplish for the year. Okay. So for that year, I identify the timeline in which I want to accomplish it. So I might have windows. I want all of the windows in my home covered by the end of the year, or I might have different projects around the house. Whatever it is, I list out what those projects are. Okay. Because the key to this, and I'm going to share this with you, and this may sound terrible, but the key to this is I want to earn an income while doing what I love in the space that I'm in. Okay. So I've chosen my home as the space. And as an influencer, yeah, you can take influencer campaigns and get stuff that you may or may not need. And that's cool. I'm not knocking that because I still do that. Okay. But what I'm saying is, if you want to be intentional and you want to accomplish certain milestones in your life, get paid to do those things, and create art at the same time, this is how you want to do it. Okay. So map out what you want to accomplish in this niche for yourself personally over the next, if you can't do a year, and I know a year, if you've never done this, is kind of hard. So let's just say 12 weeks. Over the next 12 weeks, identify what's important to you and what you want to work on. This is a plan. Okay. Yeah, I put a plan in place. Once you have a plan in place, I want you to identify, based on that list that you wrote down, I want you to identify companies that would be perfect complements to what you're trying to do. So if you're a home influencer like me, and let's say I'm working on a game room project and I want to remodel my game room, well, in my game room, what things are going to be necessary in order for me to accomplish this? A lot of times, this starts with like a mood board, Okay, where I've put together like a design plan for the space, measurements. I've kind of sourced products that I would love to have in a space, paint colors, the vibe, the whole thing. I've done the work for what I want my project to look like beforehand. Okay, long before I start reaching out to anybody. And then once I have this mood board in place and I have what I need in order to accomplish it, I look at what I have that is already in my possession, and then I look at what I need in order to get it done. And then from there, based on what I need in order to get it done, I make a list of companies that I can reach out to where there are content creation opportunities that I can say, okay, this is what I'm working on in this season. This is what I need. And from those list of companies, I go back and I look at their social media to see what they're doing right now and how they're creating content that would align with the content that I'm going to create. Does this take a lot of work? Yes. Yes. But this is the beauty and this is how you close more deals than not, okay? So once I've identified on their social media what they're doing, based on their own content creation habits, I then say, okay, how can I tie in what they're doing into the project that I'm getting ready to work on so that I can make this make sense to everybody involved? So if I'm reaching out to furniture, and for me, especially for me, I've got a certain color palette and a certain style that is in my home that is not popular. Like I'm not a neutral girl. I you see the couch behind me is pink, okay? My walls are dark green. Curtains have patterns and stuff on them. I know I'm a little bit more eclectic than most people, so I'm gonna go and find companies that match my vibe, one. And then two, I'm gonna go and look at what they've got going on and tie it into my story. And then I'm gonna create the pitch. Then I'm gonna say, okay, company A, I've got this project that I'm working on. I'm a home influencers content creator. I've got this project that I'm working on. And I went and did a little bit of research on your social media, and I've identified a piece that would be perfect in this space. But I wanted to reach out to you to see if you were open to collaborating because I'd love to feature you and create the content that I create for my own purposes, send it to you for your own marketing purposes. Would you be open to having a conversation about how we could possibly work together? I've sent mood board, and of course the message is a little bit more detailed than that, but I've got a mood board to show the connection. I've done a little bit of research. So I've tied my story into their story. And I've talked about in this first initial communication how I think what I'm doing will help them have some material that they can use to market in their own way. And then I asked them if they'd be interested in having a conversation about what I'm doing. I don't ask for product. I don't ask for, you know, can you send me this and I'll create this? No, let's talk. Because one of the things that I know is if I can talk to them about what's going on, we can collaborate. We both have a say in how this is going to work. And when I start mentioning pricing and deliverables and stuff like that, it's a lot more receptive than just in an email saying, hey, in exchange for this, I want to do this. Like they don't even know who you are. Don't even know who you are, don't even know why you're reaching out to them. All they know is they sell furniture and you want some. And you think they're gonna answer you? No. And much less not gonna answer you if you talk about, "Imma charge you $5,000." They like, "Who is this?" So in that initial contact, if you plan it out this way, this allows you to have work that you're going to do for yourself anyway, because by doing this work, this is going to help you accomplish your goals no matter what, right? Every designer needs a mood board. We all have to create a design plan, floor plan, and have a plan to project manage and execute it. We all need these things, okay? We're going to have that regardless. But once we have that and we can tie in other people's stories, then we can be more prepared when we go and say, here's my portfolio, here's what I've shot in the past, here's some examples of my work, here's how those companies were able to use my work. Um, let's talk. so that we can come up with something that works for the both of us. I have my own ideas, but I'd love to chat with you to see if this is something that's interesting to you and see how we can come up with a plan, a custom campaign that will work for you based off of what I'm doing. Most people say, yeah, send me more about what you're thinking, or, how do we schedule a call? That is a pitch that people are willing to listen to because all you've asked them for is their interest. You haven't asked them to send you nothing and pay you a dime yet. Okay. Once you get on the call, now, if you're able to book a call, some people will be willing to hop on a call with you. Some people will operate with you back and forth in email. Either way, you need to be prepared. Okay. Sometimes you'll get a response and say, oh, yeah, Kay, we'd love to hear more about what you have in mind. Like, send us something. And it's at that point that send us something, I'm going into Canva and create a video proposal to send over to them to give them my background, to give them the background of the project that I'm doing, my thoughts and why I reached out to them, and a package that I think would help them accomplish their goals. And when I lead with the package, I say, hey, this is just my thoughts. Here's some things that we've done in the past that have been kind of popular, that brands have really went crazy for, and here's how they were able to use it. And I outlay it, send it in video format, and I send it to them. At the end of the video, it's still a, hey, if you have more questions, I'm more than happy to hop on a call. Here's a link to schedule with me. That's why you need that CRM in place that I keep driving home. High level, your calendar. You have a calendar that is already set up for them to be able to go to your calendar, choose a time that works for them, for y'all to hop on a call and talk about the in-depth proposal that you sent to them, that included how much it may cost, it could cost, and what your intentions are and what you want to deliver, timeline, all of that. When you do it this way, you are taking a lot more serious. You're not just a content creator at this point, you're a business person that understands that they have needs and things that they want to accomplish, and you have value that you bring to the table. And I can tell you guys, following this process, you close a lot more deals and get a lot more money versus trying to pitch an email and not being prepared. It's not just about sending an email, "Hey, I love your product. I've been following you on Instagram." They don't care. They do not care, okay? Especially if you don't have a social media audience. They don't care. They could care less. What you wanna do is package yourself as the creator, as the ultimate professional that understands marketing, that understands content creation, that understands the value in having beautiful stuff that can help them accomplish their marketing goals, that is easy to work with, that communicates clearly and can articulate what you want and what you would like to do to help them get to where they ultimately would want to be. And when you communicate like this, then you can get to the money. This is when you don't have to worry about 30-day, 60-day, 90-day wait times to get paid, because you're establishing relationship first, because you may have identified a product and the company is hell to work with. You may have identified something that you love, but they have unrealistic expectations about what they want you to create and how much that should cost, meaning they only want to send you the product for free. You may have reached out to a company that doesn't work with content creators, or doesn't work with people that have a particular style. Like, if you can display to them that you've done your research, you understand who you are, and you have a slight inclination on what you can bring to the table, people are a lot more willing to talk because you've already done the work. You've already done the work. There's not a lot of work that goes into having a conversation with somebody that has already said, this is what I can do. But people do want to know that you're not just there to self serve, even though what you're getting ready to do is absolutely going to help you in your own personal goals. There's nothing wrong with having goals and wanting to work with people in exchange for their products or goods, and having something that's going to benefit you at the same time. but understanding that it's not about you, it's about the two of you and how you all can work together is going to be key. And being able to tell that story and build a relationship with the person that you're going to work with so that you can trust each other is going to help you get the deal for what is fair. And then once you get it, deliver. When you receive the product, communicate that you've received it. Have timelines in place to say, hey, if you send this, I can produce in this amount of time and you can expect drafts at this point, you know, and do what you say you're going to do. Under promise, over deliver. If you say it's going to take you 3 weeks, try to deliver in two. I have there's a checklist of items that they're going to receive. I always throw in extra. Not because I'm just like that. I always throw in a little extra. Hey, I saw this. I thought you would like it. A picture. Come on, you had like 500 of them anyway. Come on, it's really not going to be that bad. But I do that because my goal is to work on a more consistent basis. For me, I want to be able to go back to you and say, hey, we worked together on this last campaign. How'd you like it? How was everything? I've got this project coming up. Would you be interested in doing it again? And if you build good relationships from the beginning, then you can meet your personal goals, your financial goals, and your creative goals, and still be able to do what you want to do and not have to worry about the social media. Because social media, while it is good, while being an influencer is fun, it's more work. I'm gonna be honest with you. Being a social media influencer working on those types of campaigns is a lot more work. When you post on your own profile, you got to worry about engagement. A lot of times when you get these brand deals, depending on how you get them for social media, if you've gone through like a network, there's several rounds of drafts. You're not in creative control, and then you got to wait to get paid. A lot of times when you're working on social media campaigns, you're on a 30-day net, a 60-day net, meaning you have done the work, posted the work, and now you got to wait a month or two in order to get the check. I ain't knocking it because I still do it, but I'm very selective about the campaigns that I work on now. But I've chosen the route of being a little bit more in control because you can set your payment terms when you're in these conversations that you have went and pursued. And all of that is agreed to before the contract is developed so that everybody's clear. All hearts and minds are on one accord before content starts. And once you deliver, you know exactly when you're going to get paid. And guess what? You deliver in advance and do extra. When I send an invoice, I invoice through my CRM. When I send an invoice, paid immediately. Immediately. There's oftentimes, even though you're not using social media, you can still get advantages for your audience. Like I still post on social media and keep an engaged audience because a lot of times the stuff that I'm creating for is beneficial for them too. It's just that I don't want to do the work to have to go build this great big audience. But if the brand wants to offer something to them, I'm more than happy to share it because it's helpful for them too. So now you look like an amazing person to your audience because you've got them discounts. A lot of times you can be a part of their affiliate program. So not only did you get paid for the custom campaign, you can earn income should you decide that you want to continuously share on social media. There's so many opportunities that are not necessarily available when it's just a basic social media influencer contract when it comes to you going out to pursue the relationships that you want to have with companies based off of very specific goals. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying that the first email is going to get a response. But what I'm saying with structure, everything comes down to structure, right? I'm saying with structure, if you structure yourself like this, you come across as a consummate professional, and it's a lot easier to get the work you're looking for. It's a lot easier to set your pricing packages to help you accomplish your financial goals. And it may mean that you don't have to work as much as you would if you were only depending on social media in order to hit your goals because you can create bigger packages, deliver bigger packages for bigger checks and not have to create as often. Versus whereas on social media, even when you're not creating for campaigns, you still have to create because you got to keep that audience going no matter what, because that audience, the algorithm, is going to determine what your price tag is. How well people see your content or how often they see it, how many people you can reach is going to determine your value. And that is sometimes deflating because it more than not is outside of your control. Unless you're running paid ads, you don't control that. Another one of the benefits that I absolutely love about doing these types of campaigns is that you can provide advertising privileges to these companies where they can run ads through your platforms. You license it with the fee for a specific amount of time. And a lot of times, the growth of your audience is contributed to the advertisers that are running ads through your account. So let me tell you how this works, right? So a lot of people wonder how my Instagram grew like this. Okay. I was creating campaigns. I was licensing out advertising rights. White label rights is what it's called. So basically, the content that I create, I give the advertiser permission to run ads through my account. If you're a social media influencer, you're familiar with this. They run ads to the account. And this is why having a niche is important, right? This is why understanding your desired industry is going to be important because when you work with people that match that industry, and if you are even casually creating content for that industry where it's not on a regular basis, but you are actually creating high quality content. Maybe it's not every day, but it's very high quality. um, if you're in your industry and this company that matches your industry wants to run advertising through your account, now they're running ads that is in the same industry that you create content for. When people are nosy because they click through the ad to see who this creator is and they go to your account and see content that is in the same industry that matches this ad that they've been hit with, guess what? They hit follow. You get the follow, not the other company. The other company can get the follow too, but you get the follow. And they come and start being nosy and go down the rabbit hole of your content because it all matches up, it all aligns. So when you're in major alignment like this, now you're not responsible. You're not having to be responsible for growing your social audience. What you have to be responsible for if you desire to also have a social audience that grows, that's engaged, is to match the type of content with the type of people you're working with and making sure that you're putting this feature in your package so that they can run those ads and your audience can grow and you can get more work. And possibly, if you desire, if your goal is to later on become a social media influencer, you can use that to your advantage because now everything is succinct. It's like the story matches, all wheels align. So somebody else's ad revenue is helping you grow your audience. Now, the caveat to that, I'm going to be honest, is that sometimes when you're running paid advertisement through your accounts, your organic reach will, suffer a little bit. But I mean, it was suffering anyway. So at this point, who cares, right? The idea here is I said, I love creating content. I love telling stories. I love making beautiful stuff, but I'm not necessarily the best at this big social media thing. Eventually, I may have desires to do so and I may want to do that. But right now, it's just not what I'm great at. But I am a good creator. But other companies, like I said, you're working with marketing companies. So their goal is to acquire customers, is to be good at advertising, is to be good to spend ad dollars to reach the audience of people that they're looking for. And if they're good at that and you're good at creating content and let them white label and run advertising through your accounts, then now your audience can grow. And if you are just casually on a Saturday, cleaning up or decorating your house and you post this video or these pictures, these new people that are coming to your account are going to see it, going to want to engage with you. And all you did was did amazing work for this company that's now advertising through your account. You see how this all, why it pays to do a little bit more extra, why it pays to think beyond the content. Like, it's one thing to shoot and be cute. It's another thing to think strategically about how you can accomplish your goals. And if you do this, then it's the best of all worlds. Now, I want to be realistic with you, right? I don't want you to go out and think that just because you put together a pitch package that everybody's going to say yes. Some people don't respond. Some people will say not right now, and that's okay. Depending on the response will determine how you follow up. But for the people that are interested that you can work with, when you do it in this way, you increase your opportunities for earning a very good income for you and also accomplishing those personal goals that you may have set up for yourself. And you make companies happy. You're in alignment. You are easy to work with. You build a very good professional reputation, and you're able to then go and replicate that again. You can create case studies and you can do it again. And now you're a content creator that loves it and you're not overwhelmed and stressed out and looking happy on the internet for your social media audience, but secretly depressed behind the scenes because you're overworked, overstimulated, and overwhelmed. You following me? So let me wrap this up for you because it's 10 to the hour. Let's go back real quick, recap what we talked about. Um, and then I'm gonna give you some action steps to go do to help you get this done. Okay. First of all, you're a small creator that is looking to use your skills in order to work with brands, to earn income, to support your personal goals. I want you to first write this down. Identify the industry of content you want to create for. Do you have to be monolithic where it's only one? No, you don't. Like I said, me personally, I shoot for 3 industries. I'm a lifestyle creator. I create for the home interior space and I do luxury travel. Okay. But I've identified that. And then once I've identified that, I need you to look at the work that you already have and see if it's in alignment with that. And if it's not, then you got to go shoot for free. You got to go create the content. The easiest way to do this, especially if you're like in the home industries, in home interiors industry or lifestyle, look at what you already have in your home and get to work. Look at what you already have around you, what you already have access to, and get to work. Get behind the camera. Start shooting the type of content that you want to shoot. Okay. Look at if you don't know what to shoot, make this list of the brands that you would love to work with and go and do some research on their social accounts and see what's already there, what's performing well, what they seem to post a lot of. Make note of it and go recreate it. Okay. Once you've recreated that and you have a portfolio, or you have content, I want you to put it in a portfolio, preferably over on your website. If you need an example of what a portfolio looks like, let me go grab my portfolio link. I'm going to drop it in the comments and make a QR code and put it on the screen. Here's an example of my website portfolio. It's in the comments now, and then I'm putting it on a QR code for those of you all. Portfolio. I'm putting the QR code on the screen. If you're watching on your phone, take a screenshot of the screen, email it to you, and then scan it from the email from your phone, but preferably on your website. If you don't have a website, then go into Canva, Adobe Express, create something nice looking, but that has true examples of the work that you're trying to put together and be able to tell stories behind why you put that stuff together. From there, after you've got your portfolio together, I want you to put a content plan in place that is going to support your personal goals. Okay. The example that I gave you was for me, I have home projects. I'm in the home decor industry. So I plan out what projects I'm going to be working with. I plan out what I have and I look at what I don't have. And then I go find companies that align with the don't have and do that same research on them, see what they're creating, and see how I can make my story align with their content needs. And from there, I go and find contact information for somebody that I think would be a good point contact. A lot of times I'll start in the affiliate space because if they have affiliate programs, you can best believe that they're content creator friendly. Okay. But before I reach out to the affiliate, I prepare a pitch specific for this company, telling the story of what I'm doing and what I would like to do for them and ask them for their time to speak about it. I'm not I'm not pitching content ideas at this point. I'm not pitching payment. I'm laying the groundwork to get in contact with someone to say, "Are you the contact person that can help with this? And if not, do you mind pointing me in the right direction? I'd love to speak with you all about how I can create some content for you all to help accomplish some of your marketing goals based on what I'm doing." And if we get a yes, here's a link to schedule with me. If you want to use my calendar, here's my link. We can hop on a call for about 30 minutes to talk through it. And sometimes people will book a call and sometimes they'll just say, "Hey, send me more about what you're doing." And if they say send me more, then go and prepare a custom proposal to send to them. Don't just put it in writing. Take some time to create a video proposal to send over. If you really want to be a superstar, prepare the video proposal beforehand so that when they respond, it's automatically available and ready for them, and you can just shoot it to them. Put it in Loom, give it to them, and follow up. All right. If you do this, this is going to increase your chances of being booked. And as I've said, ain't none of this got nothing to do with your social media because we're not even focused on social media right now. We're focused on being content creators that wants to bring our content creation skills in photography, videography, and storytelling to a company to help them with their own marketing goals. They're going to use it on their own platforms. We're not necessarily interested in using it on ours. Although if it comes up in conversation and they're willing to pay, great. All right. So that's it. That's how, as a small creator, you can set yourself up to be in a position to earn a very lucrative income from the work that you do, despite having an engaged or large social media audience. Okay. Now, 5 minutes left. We got to wrap up, but I'm going to put this up on the screen. As I said at the beginning of at the beginning of the live, I am a content creator and we just launched the K Club last week when we started going live on Wednesday. So it's literally been open for a week. Where we not only talk about this stuff, like all of our live conversations are put into a folder inside of the K Club where you can go in and watch the lives. But as we're doing these lives, we are also providing additional resources in how to get this done. Right now, we had a really good conversation earlier this week about digital products. So I'm preparing a digital product mini course for those that are in there to teach you how to create a course and how to use your CRM in order to get the course published. You can work on that next week while I'm out on vacation. For those of you that are creators, we are also creating in the near future, hopefully by the end of March, before the end of March, we will have what's called Pitch to Close Out, which is another mini course that is going to teach you exactly, it's going to give you our pitch emails, our pitch templates, our proposals, all of that stuff in one place that you can take customized for your own doing and teach you how to find contacts, show you where to go to get them so that you can strengthen your business as a small creator online. If you're interested in that right now, it's $7 a month when you use the code March25 to check out. Now listen, okay? Listen, Linda, listen. It's $7 a month because it's brand new and I am building the community. Okay. So ain't many people in there right now, ain't much going on, but that's for March. And I'm okay with that because I understand how things grow. After March, at the end of March, I cannot guarantee that it's going to be $7 a month. I know it won't be $7 a month. Okay. But for right now, for those of you that are willing to trust me and build as we grow, $7 a month as long as you use the code March25 at checkout. Okay. Head over there, get in there, get your spot now, pay your little $7. And be sure to join us every morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, because we're going to be having these conversations. Next week, when I'm on vacation, they'll be pre-recorded, so they'll be a little shorter. But after we come back every morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, we're here together having a conversation about how you can strengthen your business to use the internet to make more money and reach your financial goals. All right. I'm Kay. Thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure, guys. I'm so excited that you're here, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, same time. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, good morning. Happy Friday, people. How's everybody doing this morning? Hello, 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 hello. Oh my gosh. So we are looking so much better. I probably could even afford to turn my little light down, but you know what? We're going to roll with it like this. How's everybody stinking Friday going? It is Friday, people. It is the end of the week. We made it through. We are getting to some conversations today. Today, we are going to be talking about a little bit of an intro to influencer marketing today, all week long. I have been coming here 9 a.m. Central Standard Time with you guys, and we have been talking about adding multiple streams of revenue or adding multiple streams of income. Happy Friday, Greta. To your revenue mix. And this morning, we want to tackle influencer marketing. So, as always, we are streaming everywhere. You can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me? Hearts on the screen if you can hear me over on Instagram. Hold on, let me turn it on real quick. Oh, I hear it. Maybe hop out and hop back in. I turned it on and I can hear it. All right, here we go. So this morning we are talking about influencer marketing. I am doing good. I am ready for the weekend, ready for vacation. We're talking about influencer marketing and how to break into this, right? So if you are here today and you are a content creator that enjoys the realms of social media, like you like to get after it, you have no problem getting down and having all the conversations. You are working, you have an engaged audience. Um, you are able to create content that people really, really love, and you like being on the interwebs. All right, Instagram, y'all can hear me cool. You like being on the interwebs, then this morning the conversation is for you, because if you are not earning from that by way of your own products, if you have them, or you are not working with brands in the way that you want to work with brands, then today I want to share some insight that I have, having been in this industry since 2021. Okay. So today we're going to have a very basic conversation for those of you all that are getting started in this area and are really trying to maximize your revenue as far as what you're creating on the internet. We're going to talk business. So, one of the things that you will learn about me is that you will find that I am all about business. I'm very creative. I love the creativity part of it, but I am very much about the business part of it. I want to make sure that even though I am doing some fun stuff and really working in what I enjoy, that the business behind me is on point so that I can make as much money as possible, not having to do and go, so far outside of the boundaries of what I'm comfortable with, and I'm not being taken advantage of. So today I want to have a conversation because I want to make sure that you all are running type businesses, even though you're creatives. Okay. It's one thing to come to the internet and make content for us all to enjoy. It's another thing to be well paid and be comfortable, because there's nothing worse than being in a position where you are showing up on the internet, having all of this beauty and putting all of this stuff out, but you're miserable because you can't pay your bills. So today we want to make sure we are tightening that up. Okay. So today there's going to be a few things that we're going to do. I'm going to give you 5 things that you need to know before you get started as an influencer. We're going to talk about how to position yourself to be found. Yesterday, we talked a lot about pitching. If you missed that conversation yesterday, then you want to make sure that you go back over on YouTube and catch the conversation yesterday, because yesterday we talked about how you go after the contracts that you want. But today we're going to talk about how you get in position to be found. We're going to talk a little bit about the benefits, the pros and cons of this industry, because they are they're there. Like, there are pros and there are cons to this. And then I'm going to have a special invitation at the end of this broadcast that will bring you into my world, where if you like what you heard today and you want to get some additional coaching, you can get so let's talk about a little bit of housekeeping before we hop in. All right. So for those of you all that are already in the K Club, y'all know I'm going on vacation next week. So next week we still gonna be streaming. It's still going to be 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, but it will be pre-recorded stuff. For those of you all that are in the K Club, today I am going to be tagging you, because there's going to be a couple of assignments that I want you to work on while we're gone. One is going to be for your service side of your business, and 2 is going to be for a conversation we had earlier this week about creating digital products. So I'm going to activate you a little bit this week inside of the club, just so you can be working on some stuff to further move you further along than what we're just talking about here in our live broadcast every day. For those of you all that are like, well, what the hell is the K Club? The K Club is my vault, where I put all of the replays of what we discuss each and every day inside of the vault. But at the end of the week, I come back with additional resources, whether it be templates, checklists, demo videos that help you understand how to get this done. While we're here for an hour during the week, it's a bunch of theory, but you get the practical inside of the K Club. Right now, the K Club is $7 a month through the end of March. You have to use the code March25 at checkout in order to get the $7 a month. So make sure you do that. And then after March, it'll be a completely different price. But once today is over, I'm going to do some recording for you all inside the K Club, and you are going to have some stuff to work on while I'm out, in addition to the videos that will be broadcast live next week while I'm out. Outside of that, if you are following me over on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so that you don't miss updates when I upload, when we go live. We are doing some additional uploads over on the YouTube channel too, especially by way of technology, to show you how to get some stuff done. So that's all of my housekeeping for now. If y'all are ready to get started, go ahead, put some hearts on the screens, drop some ones in the comments, and let's get into this conversation. All right. So if you are trying to be an influencer, you want to get into influencer marketing, you want to really start to earn an income from the content that you're creating online, and you don't know where to start, there's some things that I want you to think about personally before we start talking about how to get found. Okay. So in yesterday's conversation, we talked about defining like your audience and knowing how you're going to create, what type of content you're going to create. And influencer marketing is no different. So as a content creator, where you're just creating content on your own accord, you're doing it because it's what you like and it's how you kind of engage your audience, you want to get a little bit more defined in your process as far as the industries that you're going to work in. Because just like yesterday when we talked about pitching, you're going to need to be able to provide examples of your work and showcase your best work based off of what you've already done when you start to position yourself to be found. So if right now you're just kind of creating content just because it's what you enjoy, but there's not really a real method to your madness, you're just kind of freestyling, we're going to have to do a little bit more work to get really focused and drill down on what type of content creator you're going to be, because this is going to help you define yourself when you start positioning yourself to be found, so that when PR agencies or influencer agencies are looking for content creators, they start to evaluate you based on how you position yourself. So when we say positioning yourself, if I go to your Instagram or your TikTok, what is the majority of the content that I'm going to see? And this is important because we're talking about influencer marketing. So when we're talking about influencer marketing, brands are going to pay us to create content to post on our own social platforms. And when they pay us, when they make the investment in the content that we're going to create, they want to know that the audience that you are creating the content for is going to be primed for it. Because despite what a lot of us believe, when brands start paying us as influencers, especially now, they're looking for conversions. They want to know that when you post this content to your profile, that somebody's going to do something. And in order for somebody to do something, in order for that to be effective, you're going to have an audience that is primed for what you're getting ready to share. So sometimes can be a little bit challenging for content creators that are moving into influencer marketing, because up until we start thinking like a business, we're just creators. We're just kind of creating art and doing some things that we love and just pooling a whole bunch of people based on various things. But when we start moving into influencer marketing, we have to really define our audiences and define our content mix as far as the industry is concerned, so that brands are going to be more willing to pay us for the content to create and post on our platforms. Doesn't mean you have to go out and find another audience. It just means you have to make sure that what you're creating is going to be in a vertical that brands are going to work for. So you want to define that for yourself before you start positioning yourself on these networks to be found. So, one of the things that I want you to do as you start to review kind of yourself today is I want you to go back and look at your Instagram profile. And I want you to say, if somebody were to find me today and want to pay me for content, what would they think I would be known for? Like, what does my bio say? My interests are? What does the pictures, the videos communicate? What do these things say about my industry? And if you're confused, like if you can't narrow it down, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. If you can't narrow it down, then you best believe that somebody that wants to pay you can't narrow it down either. So, one of the things that I always recommend to creators when we start this work, before we start to position ourselves to get found, is we want to do a little audit of our social platforms, and we want to define what industry we want to be in and what we want to be known for. And after we've said, okay, I want to create in the home interiors, the DIY. Thank you, Lolita, the DIY industry. Thank you, Sonia. The DIY industry, the home interiors industry, or I want to be a beauty influencer. I want you to go to your profiles and say, um, oh, thank you. I want you to go to your profile and say, you know what? Does this really reflect that? And if it doesn't, then we're going to take a screenshot of our profile and we are going to use AI to clean this up, or to at least give us some thought starters in how we're going to clean this up. Okay. So we're going to screenshot our profiles and we're going to take that screenshot to ChatGPT and we're going to say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm an Instagram influencer, or I'm an aspiring Instagram content creator and influencer, and I want to create content in these industries. Boom, boom, boom. Um, and I need help in polishing up my profile so that if a company comes to my profile and wants to work with me, I want to make sure that that message is clear. What advice would you give me as far as my bio and the content that you can see on my profile from this screenshot in order to clean it up, and see what ChatGPT says? Okay. Lots of times with a polished prompt, and this is just me talking off the top of my head, there's an actual prompt that I kind of write in to do this. Lots of times it will give you advice for your bio, and it'll even give you kind of a simple game plan that you can follow to start creating content. Now, before you go start creating new content, what I want you to do is take with that feedback that you've gotten, and I want you to say, okay, is this already here and it's just kind of disorganized? Like, do I already have this And I just haven't put it in a place where it's kind of structured and it's really reflective, because a lot of times it's not that you don't have it, it's just that it's not structured in a way that communicates the message that you want to communicate. So before you start creating new content, I want you to go to your profile and evaluate what you have there and see if you have what the feedback tells you need, or if you need to kind of archive some stuff. I'm not going to say delete it, because we don't want to delete the analytics, but we do want to archive it and kind of clean up the profile. And if we need to archive and repost and stuff like that, we're going to get our current content underway so that it is reflective of what we want it to be for the brands that we want to work with. That means polishing up our bio. That means making sure our imagery and our videos are in the realm of the areas that we want to work with, because this is going to be our fresh start. Okay. Once we have that, if we go back and we say, okay, after this quick little audit, and we say, okay, I ain't got it, then that means you need to go create it. All right. You need to go shoot for it. And if you have not had any experience shooting for it, then you need to ask your AI tool of your choice, Claude, ChatGPT. I use Centra sometimes. Give me some content ideas that I can shoot that'll give me a grid of 9 to 12 posts that are reflective of this, that will be highly engaging for my audience. And you need to get to work. Okay. We're not going to apply for any networks yet. We are cleaning up our profiles so that we can be ready to actually run as a content creator business versus just creating content for our own enjoyment. All right. These changes are not, they're only going to improve the quality of your engagement if you already have it, because your audience already loves you. And one of the questions that I get a lot when I tell people to archive and repost, well, I already posted that. Well, you posted it a month ago. Okay. Or you posted it 3 months ago, 6 months ago. The people that might have been here 6 months ago, 3 months ago, heck, even yesterday, did not remember what you posted 3 months ago. This is about positioning, and not only thinking about yourself personally, but making sure you stand out and you are well oiled for people that you're getting ready to go put yourself in front of, to say, hey, I can create content for you. You might have a piece of content that was there that might not have done very well, and you might be able to shoot it again with a different angle or a different approach and improve it and improve the quality of the shot, the lighting, the camera angles, anything. Like, evaluate what you already have before you start shooting new stuff. And if you don't have it, then get some ideas from AI to go and start shooting. Okay. Once you've done that and you're ready, let's assume that you've taken a couple of weeks to clean yourself up. And now that you're ready, now you need to go and find places to put your profile that will allow you to be found by brands. Okay. One of the things that you need to know when you start going to apply for like these creator networks and stuff like that, the reason why we're doing this audit and taking our time before we ever get to the network is that once you get to the network, you're going to start to be evaluated. Like, people are going to start looking at your content that's already there. They're going to ask for examples of content that are there. They're going to ask you questions like, what industries do you create for? So it's best to already have this information done. That's why we're taking a little bit of time on the front end before we ever get to the networks to do this kind of groundwork. So by the time we get there, we're ready to rock and roll. Okay. So now, before you go to the networks, I want to make sure that you have a consistent posting schedule in place. All right. We are going to position ourselves in networks as influencers, and influencers have influence. That means they post, and when they post, people respond. People show up, people take part in the conversations, they're consistent, they are working all the time, like they're present. When you're talking about getting paid for like an organic social media campaign, people want to see that you can get results. Okay. So you can't be like me. You can't be like those of us that are UGC creators and say, oh, I'm going to post once a month. No, 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 no. Unless that once a month post is pulling in engagement like crazy, which more than likely it's not because of any fault of your own, just because these platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they want consistency. They want to see you there all the time. The more you post, the more visibility they provide to you. So just posting once every now and again is not going to be enough. You need to put a schedule in place that is going to allow you to be consistent. Now, a lot of times when we start talking scheduling and consistency, people are like, well, what's the rhythm? How many times should I be posting? So on and so forth. And I don't know that there's a real answer for that. But what I do help people think through is, what am I capable of? What can I commit to that I can do over a consistent basis that trains my audience on what to expect from me? Right. So, I may not be able to post 3 reels a day, but can I post one a day or one every other day? Whatever that attainability is as it relates to your time, making sure that you have quality over quantity is going to be important. So it's double-edged sword, right? It's half in one hand and half a dozen in the other hand when I'm saying, okay, you got to be consistent. You got to post more than just randomly. But you also got to make sure that whatever you're posting is the best. Like if you look at when you shoot, if you look at it and say, is this my best work? Or is this something that somebody would pay for? And the answer is no. Um, you might want to hold off and consider either reshooting or finding another way to create that content so that it is actually received and primed and ready. Okay. Standards for influencers are a little bit different for standards for just those of us that are just chilling, right? We got to put our best foot forward all the time when you're trying to get started because these brands are really looking for quality. Okay. So, another thing that I want you to consider before we start talking about where to go and get found is that as an influencer, when you get hired for these contracts, they're going to come with a contract. Okay. They're going to come with, um, content requirements. They're going to request a certain amount of content from you, and they're going to want it done in a certain amount of time. They're going to want drafts submitted that are going to have to be reviewed for approval, and then they're going to want statistics after. Okay. So, one of the things that we're going to have to learn how to do, and we won't dive too much into contracts, but we are going to talk a little bit about contracts, is that you got to understand contracting because there are pros and cons to this. And when we get to the pros and cons section, we'll discuss contracts a lot because it's not going to be just somebody's going to pay you or hire you to work on this. And, you can post it whenever you want to. As an influencer, we get hired based on campaigns, and campaigns are messages, marketing messages, and goals and objectives that have a start date and an end date. So when brands are hiring you, they are trying to accomplish a specific goal based on the content that you're creating, which is why it's important that you understand your industry and your niche. Because I might be a really good DIY creator or home decor creator, but I might suck at creating content for like medicine. You know, you got to know what it is, right? But when they hire you, they're going to hire you based on a campaign. They are going to hire you based on um, a start date and an end date, and based on some goals that they want to have in place in order to accomplish with your content. That content might include having to run paid campaigns from that content. That content might include them promoting it on their social profiles, but all of those requirements are going to be listed in your contract. So know that when you get ready to position yourself on these networks, that you're going to get hired and you're going to have a contract, and you're going to want to know what to look for in that contract, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then fourthly, uh, you need to know that payment terms. We'll talk a little bit more about payment terms at the end when we start talking about pros and cons, but payment terms for influencers contracts vary. Okay. When I first started in this industry, this was one of the things that probably caught me off guard the most, is that I was not familiar with the fact that I would create content and that contract would say I wouldn't get paid for like 60 days. And you need to prepare yourself for that. Because one of the things, and we'll talk about this in a minute, and when we start talking about like the pros and cons, one of the things that you need to know as an influencer, and you know this if you're already creating content, is that you make investments in order to create very good content. It might be purchasing clothes, getting your makeup done, get your nails done, purchasing things to help bring the message to life. Like you're going to make an investment in order to create this content. It's not just going to be, I'm gonna wake up with the camera and find a corner in my house and shoot. Everything don't work like that. Like they're going to send you product. and they're going to want you to design around this product on your own dime in order to bring this message to life based off of prior content that you've made, and you may not get paid for a month or two, depending. Okay. So if you know that before you start, then you know how to prepare yourself because it's going to be in your contract. And I'm not saying this to scare you or to make you not want to do it. I'm just saying that these are the realities of how this works. And if you know this before you get started, before you're like, yeah, I want to jump in, then you are better equipped to deal with what's going to come once you get that contract. Okay. And then fifthly, which is going to lead us into what we're getting ready to talk about as far as being found. You're going to have to build relationships with the agencies that you're going to start working with. Okay. As an influencer, the easiest way to get started, like there are several different ways that you can work. Some agencies are going out looking for influencers because we have hashtag the type of content that we create influencer, or we've got good engagement. There are tools that go out there and look for influencers and can identify influencers in a creative space that have a specific amount of engagement. But there are also ways that you, as the influencer, can go and position yourself to be found. And that is going through like networks. When I first got started in influencer marketing, I started in networks. I went and applied to every influencer network I could found. And child, all influencer networks ain't the same. Okay. So I'm going to share a few that I have worked with personally, that when I first got started did very, very well for me and allowed me to get, in front of brands that I actually wanted to work with in the industries that I wanted to work with. Okay. So when I first got started, I started off in the parenting and lifestyle industry. And as time evolved, kind of switched into the home decor and DIY. But if you're like a lifestyle creator, then these networks will do really good for you. One of the first platforms that I went to was Aspire IQ. Okay. Now, Aspire IQ, the way that it works is you'll go and you'll apply to be a part of the network. And when you apply to be a part of the network, all that stuff that we did in the social media audience, by understanding our industry, understanding our niche, knowing what platforms we were going to focus on, all of that stuff is going to come into play now because we're going to have to communicate that to these networks. So you'll go to Aspire IQ and apply to join. When you apply to join, most of the processes for all of these networks is pretty much the same. You'll put in your email address that you're going to use to be able to be communicated with, and then you're going to add your social networks. They're going to ask you questions about the type of content that you create. Some of them will ask questions about rates and stuff like that. We'll talk about that in just a second. Some of them will ask questions about rates. Some of them will have rate suggestions available to you based off of your size and the engagement of your network. All of them work different. None of them are the same. Okay. Which is also something that you have to kind of be mindful of, is that you don't have as much control when you are applying through networks. The network is kind of like a PR company that the brands push their campaigns to. And then the network does the work to go out and find the creators that can actually accomplish the brand's goals. So they have these kind of like databases of creators where we go and put our profiles on there. And then based on certain parameters, when they have campaigns that match, they kind of push them to the creators that are on the network. And then from there, the creators can then apply and do kind of like a small pitch on what their creative ideas might be in order to help the brand come to life. The network reviews it, submits it to the brand. The brand does the final approval and then comes back and says, hey, we want to work with you, so on and so forth. So when you are applying to the networks initially, it's important that you know as much about what you want to do and how you want to do it so that you can give as much detail as possible, because it's going to create kind of like a profile for you. So on Aspire IQ, you can go to Aspire IQ, submit your profile. You'll pull all of the social platforms in that you are applying to do work on. For me, I do Instagram, YouTube, and then you will be able to kind of define rates, which we'll have conversations about rates at another time, but you'll be able to define rates. And then you'll be able to define the type of content that you can create: photos, short form videos, creator generated content is something that you'll see some of these platforms looking for now, meaning you'll be able to create and not have to post it on your platform. Um, do you provide advertising, all that kind of stuff? Like you'll go through whatever questionnaire it is, you'll submit your profile picture, then it's going to ask you for examples of your work. One of the things that I liked about Aspire IQ, and I don't know how it works now, I have to go on and look, but one of the things that I liked about Aspire when I first started is that they allowed you to pull in examples of your work and they made almost kind of like this media kit for you on the platform. So it pulled in all of your analytics, your performance from your content, and then you could say, okay, I want this post to be highlighted, this post to be featured, this post to be featured, so on and so forth, to kind of position you in the best light forward, because this is what the brands are going to see when they submit you to the brands. So you take your time and submit that information, and then you wait. Sometimes there's marketplaces that are there that have open campaigns that you can go and apply to. And we'll talk about when you apply, kind of how to pitch in just a second. But for the most part, you want to get set up first. And then once you're set up, kind of learn around the platform. And Aspire IQ was one of the first ones that I ever had any experience with. Some of these platforms will offer free and paid campaigns. I'm gonna leave that up to you on what you want to accept. Some of them have following requirements, audience requirements before you can get accepted. But Aspire IQ was one of the ones that we could get in without having to have the largest audience because they had, a variety of campaigns. Now, I will say that as my audience grew, it became a lot better because the budgets became better when it was really popping. But that was one of the places that I start. One of the places that I use now that I really, really enjoy is Activate by Impact. Now, Activate used to stand on its own. Like years ago, Activate was its own campaign or own influencer network where you could go and apply. But now, if you go to like impact.com, you'll find a lot of both affiliate campaigns and opportunities to get brand deals. And I've used Activate and Impact for years for both purposes. Activate went through a little something, something a couple years ago, and I didn't do too much on it, but it kind of works the same. You go, you apply to be a part of the network, and then you have to create your profile. So all of that auditing and stuff that we did, this is where these things are going to come into play. You go and create your profile and complete all of the different requirements that they're looking for. And then I know with Impact, I don't know how it works for brand new folks, but I know with Impact, because I'm an established creator on Impact, there are some campaigns that you are automatically um, eligible to apply for, and then there are some campaigns that you have to be invited to. But one of the things that I like about Impact is that in addition to like the brand campaigns, you also have like the affiliate marketing campaigns. So if you're looking for products and stuff like that to promote, you can go and kind of look through and see what companies are available for like affiliate programs and do some research and like finding new products to try or present to your audience, stuff like that based on your niche. I enjoy it, but they do have the ability to also run like the brand campaign. So, like, there's companies that I work with where they can do special stuff for their influencers based on how they work with them, where they offer a higher percentage as far as the affiliate campaign is concerned. They put credits in there for you to be able to go and shop. They pay you through the platform. You're able to track the performance. One of the things that I love about Impact that I could not get with Aspire is that on Impact, they give you tracking links and you can actually log in and see the performance of your campaign for yourself, which is very, very helpful because nowadays everybody want to know what you can do for them, right? How you can work. And without being able to see the performance of the work that you're doing, it's kind of hard to tell another brand, hey, I was able to do this if you can't see it. But one of the things that I love about Impact is that no matter if you're working on a paid campaign or if you're doing something affiliate marketing style, if you share a link, you can create links specific to the platform. So I create different links specific for Instagram and specific for YouTube. If I'm doing like affiliate campaigns, if I'm doing influencer marketing, I can see where the traffic came from, how many clicks, how many conversions, so on and so forth. So I can track the performance myself. and know whether or not my audience responded the way that I thought they were going to respond, and if this is something that I need to present to them again. This is good for you as an influencer as you are starting to build your analytics and understanding how your audience buys, and how they perform. It's good for you to be able to see it, and Impact allows you to see that, which is not something that I can say about most networks. You won't get the analytics. You won't see anything except for what's on your side. And I actually want to see the follow up. Like, I want to follow the sales journey from seeing a click come through in my story and actually seeing it. I won't know that that click turned into a sale, but I want to be able to see, okay, based on how many people saw this and how many people clicked through, how many people actually purchased, and was this a successful campaign even for me, right? So that's one of the things that I love, love, love about that. Hey, lady. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about Impact. Okay. Another platform that I've used in the past that was really good, even when I was small, was Sway Group. And what I liked about Sway Group was that it's one of those platforms that is heavy on the lifestyle side. So like if you're a parent content creator or something like that, you can go in there and usually find stuff that is available that will meet you, especially for those of you all with small kids. I'm beyond that now. I don't have the little babies to show anymore. But like when my kids were little, like when Morgan was a teeny tot and when Summer was a little baby, y'all, I was cleaning up on family content because there were places like Sway Group that were specifically for family content creators that were influencers that had the campaigns that could get you your foot in the door. Okay. It's one of those places that kind of tells you here's the budget of this campaign based on the size of your audience. And you can determine whether or not you're willing to work for it at that price. I love that about Sway Group, and I love the quality of the campaigns. It was actually stuff that we could use. All of these networks that you're going to go and apply to are going to be places that you can choose whether or not you want to apply to the campaign. What we're doing is going and positioning ourselves to be found and to see what's available to see if we want to do it. Most of the campaigns, any of them on all of these networks will tell you what the budget is. And they'll say, okay, here's a budget that we have. We want this amount of content, and we need the creator to be able to create by this time. If you're able to do it, apply. And then when you apply, you can pitch your idea on what you want to create. And some of them will actually, like there's one we're going to talk about in just a second, will ask you, hey, do you agree to the budget? And if it's no, you can, say why not. But with Sway Group, it was one of those places that as a small creator, even sometimes now I'll get stuff and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm willing to do something like that. But the campaigns were there, they were consistent, they were nice quality. All of these are not going to be the budgets that you would have if you were like pitching yourself, like we were talking about yesterday. But, if you're already creating for like lotions and products that you're using with your family and you have an opportunity to try something new or get access to something that you would use anyway and what you would do for free you can make some money on, then I don't see why not. But Sway Group was one of those places. Now, unlike Impact, you're not going to be able to see the performance of the campaign. You can ask, but I don't know that they'll give you that type of information. The most that you're going to be, yep, that was my problem. My kids kind of grew out of Sway Group, um, but you're not gonna be able to see the performance of the campaign beyond what you see on your own social media metrics. So you're not gonna really know if anybody purchased or anything like that. And usually there's no affiliate income associated with it either. With Impact, you can negotiate the campaign, and some of them you can negotiate the affiliate income with it because that is the platform for that. But with Sway Group, there's a set budget, um, and it's usually just product and the budget and that's it. And you just get to determine whether or not that budget is fair for the work that it's going to take in order for you to create it. Um, Another one that I liked, that I worked a lot with, haven't worked with them recently, but another one that I liked that I worked a lot with was Acorn. When I was first getting started and got a little bit more established, I initially applied to Acorn not knowing what they were. Like I just applied because I found it. I did like a Google search for popular influencer networks, and Acorn came up. And one of the things that I liked about Acorn was that they had brands that we were working with at the time that we actually wanted to shop with. So, considering the climate and depending on your personal stance as far as who you're willing to work with right now, you may not be able to find the campaigns that you want with them because I did a lot of work with Acorn with some companies that are not on the happy list right now. But when I was working with them, one of the things that I like is that there are case managers that are assigned to the actual campaign. So you were speaking directly with someone, and usually it was a few of them that you were working with that would give you, sometimes they would have like videos on what the brand was looking for to help you create content. They would sometimes take your pitch and rewrite it to ensure you had greater chances of being accepted for the campaigns. With Acorn, they weren't the best budgets, but they weren't the worst budgets either. Like they were pretty fair. Now, one of the things about Acorn was most of those campaigns paid out 60 days after the campaign ended. So you might have a campaign running where it starts in March and the last person that's going to post for it and the last kind of piece of messaging that's going to go out for it ain't till May. Well, that's the close of the campaign. So if you posted in March, if you were a part of the first round, you got March, April, May, and then 60 days before you get paid. You need to know that when you're looking at these networks and understand how that works when you are looking at your contracts. And I'm not saying this to scare you because this is just kind of what the industry was or what it is. As an influencer, though, you got to be smart and have a mix of networks that you work with. And you'll find sometimes that some of these networks have the same campaign but different budgets. So what I did when I was working with these networks is I would look at the networks and I would compare. I would like log in to different networks and see if the campaigns were there before I would ever apply. And I would apply on the network that had the bigger campaign. And usually the network would be able to get the bigger budget because they had a better reputation and management style. And sometimes it would be one part of the marketing department that was working with this one because they were working with a different type of influencer. So it really, but you don't have control over that. It's just a matter of understanding it and being smart about the way that you apply. So Acorn was one that I liked. Once you build relationships with the people, is the price negotiable or the payment terms? So Acorn was one of those places that would ask you, hey, do you agree with the budget? And you could say yes or no. As far as the payment terms were concerned, I don't think that that was negotiable because they would usually have a group of influencers that were working on the campaign, and everybody had to finish up in order for them to close it. So it had something to do. I'm assuming this is an assumption. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure it had something to do with billing as far as their end was concerned on when they could bill and when they could pay out. So, knowing that, helps you understand how you want to work. And I'm not saying all campaigns were like that, but it was a possibility. It could be a possibility. And that was going to be, it's not for every campaign that was listed on the platform. It was campaign by campaign. So one of the things that I loved about Acorn is that they were very detailed about the campaigns. Like you would get a campaign overview, you would get some examples of what the brands was looking for, you would get some examples of you would get some information about the payments, the terms of payments, how long it was going to take. All of the information that you needed before you actually applied was there. So they let you make an educated decision as to whether or not you wanted to do it. And usually, in your application process, what could be negotiable was the price. But as far as the length of terms, I don't think so because they would close the campaign in their books bill. And then I'm sure they had like net 30s that they had to wait on for the brand to pay them and then they would pay out. So it's kind of complicated when you are working in this because you don't have control. You're not the one that can say, hey, you know, um, I want it this way. You got a little bit more control when you're pitching. But when you're working through the networks, you are almost at the mercy of how their structure is set up. So you want to get with networks that have good structures so that you can get to your coins faster. Now, I will say there was some big budgets that came through Acorn. So that 60-day wait, I'd be like, all right, it's gonna be a nice payout. So sometimes it'd be worth it, but they were clear, they were transparent, um, and they always paid on time. Most of the time it was early, but I always had payment before they actually said that the payment was going to come through. Another one that I liked, that um oh gosh, we did Aspire Q, we did Impact, we did Sway Group, did Acorn. What's another one that I used? Collectively was one that I learned about on a affiliate marketing basis. But let me tell you about this. So collectively, if you've been around for a little while, it's something similar to what like LTK is. Okay. And one of the things, but the difference with collectively was you could go and create links as like affiliate links when didn't know how to get into affiliate programs with the brands directly themselves. So one of the things about like collectively and LTK that I like is that you can go and apply to be a part of the network. You still have to get approved, but then once you're approved, they have access to all these brands that if you have a product that you're using that you want to recommend that you can go and get the link for. Now, if you do it right, which, a lot of us don't always do it right. But if you do it right, you can go, and this is what helped me in collectively, you can go and get these links. And brands are on collectively looking to see who's driving traffic and sales. So you might just be doing some affiliate marketing for a brand because it's something that you purchased that you're already using, but they're going to see it because they're on the platform and they're looking at the performance of the creators that are there. And then based on that, they can reach out to you directly through that platform to work on a campaign. Places like LTK and collectively have gotten a lot more structured as far as their campaigns are concerned. Like I'm trying to get into my LTK swag bag where I use it a lot more than other platforms because there is specific areas in the platform that are specifically for campaigns, but it's based off of your performance. So if you're intentional about linking from one place, something like collectively or LTK, if you can be intentional about every affiliate link that you grab, and it's hard because we've got places like Wayfair affiliate program and stuff like that that all offer the same thing. But what you have to determine is what's going to be the easiest for for my audience to purchase through. Everybody know LTK. Not a lot of people knew collectively, but you can link directly to the product. But the primary deal is linking to the stuff that you own, even if you're just doing affiliate stuff so that the brand can see it. And then when they see it, they get to invite you into campaigns where you can work directly with them on a more organized basis. But the brands and stuff, the terms and stuff still remain the same. Okay. So LTK, you got to have, sometimes you can get an invite from another creator if you do not qualify on your own. Sometimes if we invite you, it heightens your chance, but you want to make sure that you've got an engaged social audience already. I don't know if the parameters for getting into LTK are a little more strict or they might be a little bit more loose. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I do know that when you go to the websites for both places like Collectively and LTK, they're going to say, hey, we want you to have a social audience that's engaged. It's not necessarily about the size. They just want to see that people actually are paying attention to what you're creating. And then you get in there and start linking to stuff. And then based on your performance, based on the amount of posts that you create and traffic and stuff like that, you get the opportunity to work with brands. So one of the pros, let's talk pros real quick. Some of the pros to working with these networks is that it allows you the creativity and the flexibility to be able to create in a space that you love. Just like we talked about yesterday when we were talking about pitching, doing this and getting paid for it is fun, right? It's what all of us enjoy doing. So you do get that flexibility and you get to partner with brands that you love. You get to apply. So it's not like, and sometimes they're going to come to you, but you get the choice. It's not like you are automatically applying to enroll in anything. You get to choose. And if you do good work and you're professional and you provide high quality content and you communicate and you respond when people are asking things of you, you have the potential to build long-term relationships with both the networks and the brands. I can't tell you how many times I've been rehired by a brand through a network because the relationship was there. Okay. Some of the cons that we kind of discussed while we were talking is that sometimes brands working through these networks, they just have long payment terms. All right. Um, and it's not really anything that you can control because you're working through an agency that has their structure in place for how they bill. You're kind of at the mercy of how that works. So the best thing to do is to create high quality content and work through a high quality agency. Aspire IQ was one of the places in the beginning that I went to that you would create posts and they would pay almost within a week, right? Didn't matter what the term said, like you were getting your money. Um, Sway was another one that I think within 30 days we used to get paid real good. Impact, you get rolling payments through Impact if you've got affiliate stuff going on, and then the brand will pay within those terms. Usually places like Aspire, Impact, Sway, they're doing pretty good. Acorn, as much as I like them, they're just one of those places where the payment terms are a little longer. So they were one of the ones that you could have a lot of campaigns that you were working on, but you wanted to fill it in with some other networks too, even if the budgets were a little smaller in the other networks. So you had cash flow coming in. It's just being smart while you're working. Another con is that not all of these budgets are fair on every network. Okay. So when you're just getting started, usually you don't really understand how the budgets work. And we don't have enough time to talk through budgets now. And I don't even know if I would talk through budgets openly. I think I would have that conversation in a K Club. Um, but usually when some brands, like you've got places, I'm not gonna even name them. We'll talk about those in the K Club, but there's some networks that you go through and the budgets, they want you, your family, your left leg, your right cheek, 15 videos and 100 pictures, and they only wanna pay you $500. That's not fair, right? So, you really wanna understand, you wanna look at the networks, review a couple of the campaigns, see what the budgets are coming through, before you just hop in, okay? Um 'Cause they're not all fair. Sometimes you can negotiate, sometimes you can't. You really wanna be with the agency where you like, "What? Nah, y'all know better." And sometimes it's the agency, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's the agency taking most of the money, but you gotta be smart about it, okay? Um, Sometimes managing the contracts and the deliverables can be overwhelming. You gotta be organized, okay? It's really important to be super organized, when you're working as an influencer because when you take on multiple campaigns, um you know what? I agree with Aspire. I think that when people reach out to me and they're using Aspire, it's usually good, but I haven't been able to go to Aspire and be like, "Hey, um, I used to be able to go through and pick campaigns and the budgets were there, but now I think brands are using Aspire for reach out and managing the campaigns, but not necessarily in the marketplace, if that makes sense." What's the what I would say? Oh, them contracts and the deliverables. So, if you have multiple campaigns running at the same time, you really got to be organized and you got to stay on top of your stuff and you got to know what each brand is looking for because each contract is going to be different. So, having a way to manage yourself is going to be super, super crucial. I use a project management tool, one that I use in both my service based business and my content creation business that allows me to create a board that has the campaign that highlights the key things as far as like deliverables, timeline, budget, and payment terms in it so I can stay organized. Because if you're really good, people will hire you and you can find yourself up under like 10 campaigns running at a time, and everybody wants something different, and everybody got draft deadlines that are different. So, if you're going to do this, you just want to be organized and have a system to keep you organized so that you don't get overwhelmed. Because what you don't want to do is find yourself always creating content, especially if you're a family creator. This was my family's heartburn when we first started. Like they were working with me to create this content. And at first it started out fun, but then it turned into a job for 3 year olds. And they were like, whoa. And if you are a parent, you know that wrangling up multiple children under the age of like 5 is no fun. So, you want to keep it fun so that you can get the content shot and get it done and it not become something that's super, super overwhelming to you. So, as you're thinking about starting your career or advancing your career in this way, I always encourage folks to start off with the networks. Find a good network um, that you like to work with and build relationships with them. And you'll become one of the influencers that they'll come to on a regular basis. And then once you are in a network, start learning how to identify opportunities like we talked about yesterday, where you go and pitch yourself because of the work that you've been able to do with the networks. One of the pros about working with the networks, it does allow you to create content to showcase your work because you got to put your best foot forward. So once you have this content that you've gotten paid for, it'll help you create your portfolio on paid work because sometimes people do want to see what type of content you've created for like in exchange for income. And once you have that, then you can have a portfolio that's strong because you have done the work that needs to be done. And then you can go and find opportunities that you want to work with and have a little bit more control over like things like payment terms and budget and stuff like that. So I think getting started, this is an excellent way to go. Um, I think those of us that have been doing it for a little while, we kind of dip our toe in and out just depending on what's going on. But if you understand how to read contracts, you know where to go and put yourself so that you can get found. Um, and then you know how to communicate and build relationships, then you can have a lot of success and then be organized. You gotta be organized. With those things, you'll be able to perform. And don't just take stuff just to take it, because everything that glitters ain't gold. Sometimes you have to really say, okay, you want 3 reels for how much? Like you gotta be real, especially like I started off in the family industry and baby, like, those budgets should be higher than anything else because those of us that gotta work with children and they attitudes, nobody's looking at the camera at the same time. Like, depending on when you shoot, today I'm happy with being in front of the camera. Tomorrow is get that camera out of my face, but you on contract to get this done in a specific amount of time, child. And let's not talk about husbands that don't want to be in front of the camera. Baby, it is a lot of work. So just knowing the amount of work and the amount of time that you're going to have to put into wrangling everybody in. I got to a place where I used to charge extra for my kids. I would charge a little bit extra. And one, because I was putting money aside for them for every campaign that they worked on, they got paid. So it wasn't just about me. But then two, I needed to be paid for my struggles. Like, that's extra. You want me, it's easy for me to show up. It's harder when you've got additional people in the content. So those are my thoughts on how you can get started in influencer marketing if you really want to get started. We have so much that we could talk about. What I do want to offer for those of you all that are interested is access to the K Club, where when I come back, because I am going on vacation, so the content that's going to be in there is going to be for my service-based girlies that are in there. But when I come back from vacation, week after next, we're going to build out some mini courses for influencers to not only work in these networks, but really go through contracts and understand them, teach you how to negotiate, even if you're working in a network, give you scripts for pitching, show you how to find opportunities in some of these places like Impact that are not just influencer campaigns, but could be campaigns that could be directly pitched. Just how to build a business overall using yourself as a content creator. And right now, it is available for only $7 a month through the end of March. If you decide to sign up, just use the code March25 at checkout, and that will give you access to the program for $7 a month for the entirety of the program. At March got 30 or 31 days. I don't know. The last day of March, that price will increase no lower than $47 a month. But for now, because it's brand new, we just launched it. We're giving you guys access to it at that cost. Outside of that, it has been amazing. It is Friday. I've got a crap ton of videos to create so that I can get them ready to go for you all. Next week, we will still be streaming. It won't be for an hour. It'll be for 30 minutes just because I'm on vacation and I don't have 5 hours to create pre-recorded videos. So we're going to stream for 30 minutes. If you have questions as those streams come up, just drop them in the comments. I'll review them when I come back and be back live to answer all of your questions. Thanks for hanging out with me today and participating, y'all. It's been a blast, and I will see you all next week, same time. Bye now.